Morning, everybody, or good morning, fellow travelers. Nice to see you all here today. My fellow traveler will be here shortly. Um, yes, we all seem to have a little bit of a lie-in this morning. I heard the dog was like, "Let me out," and it was like 8, and I'm like, "What?" Yeah, you really lose track of time with this quarantine fun, huh? Anyway, so her seat's there. She'll be here in a little bit, but just want to say good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing as well as can be expected during these crazy times. Here to talk about some travel stuff. There's some news that came out with the stimulus package for that will actually affect travelers in the U.S. So I thought it'd be a good thing we could talk about something about those things too. But first, I want to go through all the good mornings, everybody. Morning, Sahil. Hope you're doing well in the Netherlands. Melvin Gamer. Hope you're doing good. Jen, good to see you on here. Means to Travel, our buddies. They had a live feed earlier this week. Good to check them out on their channel. They're a nice couple there. Up in Chi-Town. Unfortunately, they went to Indiana, not Illinois, but I still love them. Pael in Australia. Good to see you, buddy. Michael Mann. Awesome. Fortune City's back. Darian, Malcolm, Alan. Good to see everybody. Payal, I'm glad we can upload do these live feeds and do the videos and stuff like that. Yeah, Scott Neal, I hope we never take being able to travel for granted. I think a lot of people, that's one thing, is Jocelyn actually wrote about this in yesterday's quarantine blog. She started thinking back to her, like this old couple she hung out with when she was a little kid in Arizona. And they were like in their 90s. And so she was going there, and they were born in the 1890s, right? And then they lived through depression, and so it was kind of interesting to have her kind of like look back and say, wow, these things are really, like, they never took anything for granted after that. It's really kind of an interesting thing. 41 in Texas. You mean it's warmer in Illinois? Because I think we're like at 43. It's a little chilly. Like, I got hot cocoa this morning to go with my t-shirt. Jeffrey Costa. Nada pasa, amigo. Tyler up in Minnesota. I know we got a lot of buddies up in Minnesota. Kathy Walters, hi mom. Good to see you on here. Turd Ferguson, I still love your day. It makes me smile every day. Thank you. Eric Zwar, thanks for reaching out, buddy. And thanks for writing me on watching my videos on the Professor Walters channel. Always good to see you. Gallivanting Gals are on. So many great people on here. Malcolm, Kansas City, Kansas Girl Abroad, Kevin Schmaltz, Melvin, Hunter Hayes, Liam. Come here, say hi. You have to come. If you're on my phone, you gotta say hi. So here's Liam. He will say hi because he's stealing my phone. Hi. All right, get out of here. Yeah, so we had a full day of homeschooling yesterday. So I had to catch up with Caleb on his math and all the other stuff, and we got, as you parents out there know, sometimes it's a little bit easier, sometimes a little bit harder. But we knocked out three homework assignments yesterday for math, which was interesting to be teaching him again, those kind of things. So it was kind of interesting. Karen in Dresden, actually, if you ever get a chance, you're going from Berlin to Prague, stop in Dresden on the way. It is one of the coolest cities to check out in Germany. Fantastic Christmas market there. I forgot what it's called, though. They have a special name for it. We went there a few times. It is a gorgeous city to really see and check out, and especially if you're in the eastern part of Germany, the Old East, probably the prettiest city in the old eastern part of Germany by far. Rusty, good to see you up there, buddy. Hey, Mark, what's your favorite place in the house to travel to during quarantine? Okay, so everyone in our house actually kind of has their own little spot. So Liam will go into our bedroom and turn on Netflix and watch How to Train Your Dragon, their TV series. That's kind of his thing. Jocelyn has the couch right behind this. That's kind of her like chill out area. I will go in my office if it's not completely full of crud and kind of just sitting there and maybe play some guitar or just work on the videos and stuff like that. Caleb, he's either he's 13, so it's in his room with his phone on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, or he's usually watching videos. So we all have kind of our own space. It's important that you have that space, at least now. Grant Rennie, thanks very much for the super chat, buddy. I think it's really important we all give each other space during these quarantines because we're stuck together so much. Hey, Leo, that sometimes we don't give each other the space that we're used to having because, like I would go to work, the kids would go to school. So everyone had their chance to have their own time. And so it's important if you can do that. I mean, I know it's tough if you're in an apartment, like a 2-room apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. Sometimes, like, you know what? You have the bedroom. I'll stay out in the living room for a couple hours or whatever, just to give people that kind of space. So, hey, Chris Smith, I'm glad our advice on Manuel Antonio could help out. Costa Rica is a really great experience. It's, I think for a lot of people that want to do abroad but not go too far, Costa Rica is a really good choice for Americans to go there and Canadians. Mexico is too, but like Costa Rica for exploring, seeing a lot of one country because Mexico is a lot bigger. There is on that. Brian Boyd Kibb is on the phone with the ladies, probably. Hi, Gloria Gonzalez. Hope you're doing okay. Baggy T, I'm glad we can help you pass the time, my friend. Thanks for coming. And all of you that have been coming to these things on Wednesdays and Saturdays, it's really a nice thing to get us a chance to all have a time to socialize and chat, and then Joss and I will talk and chit-chat, and she'll probably try to give me a wet willy or smack me around or something like that. I'm kidding. It's fine. But I'm glad that we can do this because I know for us, this is an outlet for us too, just to have that like people kind of thing. But let's talk about some travel. I believe there's a question from Brian. Was asking about, is Belize something? Is Belize worth it? Yes, Belize is worth it. If you want to go down to Belize, do not go to Belize City. Like, fly in and leave. Okay, there's no reason to stay in Belize City. Well, there is, but like safety wise and worth going to wise, you fly into Belize and you have a driver and you get out right away. Either go to inland and go, towards the Guatemalan border, and there's some Mayan ruins. You can go cave diving and cave rafting and stuff up there. Really kind of cool. Or you're heading out to the Keys on the coast, where the Blue Hole is and stuff like that. That's where that's where I'd recommend going if you're going to go there. And if you could go before April, like I think it's like October through April, maybe November through April, that's when it's lobster season. Man, the rock lobster there is phenomenal. Nickerish, favorite place in Asia or place in Asia you want to see? So where we want to go right now, like Jocelyn's big one is we want to do a Southeast Asian one, which we were supposed to do a couple summers ago, but we had a wedding, and then this summer things changed. We had another wedding, so like we have very few friends that still have to get married, family members. So it's kind of like, no, there's a big things we want to do. But it was Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos. That was like that group there is
Bhutan.
one, and then Bhutan's the big like single country one, but that one's going to be taking a little more time because it's really kind of expensive. Just because we'd be shelling out about $1,000 a day just in visas. And we don't have that kind of money. So there is that. And I'm glad we can be a little ray of sunshine up there in Toronto. Toronto is one of the places I plan to go on a weekend trip this summer. I miss the ROM. I love the ROM. If you ever get up to Toronto, go to the ROM. The Royal Ontario Museum has one of the best collections of dinosaur bones in the world. I mean, the fossils there, it's fantastic. And then there's an art museum there. Help me remember, Anne. I have pictures of it. I've been inside it. There's a great art museum there. But for me, when you go to Toronto, going to the neighborhoods and stuff like that, and eating in Toronto, top notch.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
She had to get as pretty as me.
That's right.
So for those that need this, you're on week 2 of quarantine. It's time to cut your fingernails and clean out your earballs. Okay, just putting that out there. Liam.
Nobody else calls it earballs. That's like strictly the 4 of us.
Okay, well that's you. I was just trying to help. Prince Edward Island. That's another gorgeous place in
PEI is lovely.
Yeah. Ginjadine, Dresden's the best. Hey, down in Chile expat family. Hope you're all doing well down there. Gorgeous places in Chile. We need to take the boys down there. Let's see. Oh,
good morning, Mark.
Morning, everybody.
Hi, Michael.
Jimmy UK. Every Thursday morning, I'm always tired because of you. Drinking Monster Zero caffeine drink for recovery. So Jimmy's obviously in the UK, guy. So he stays up to about 2 or 3 in the morning to listen. So thanks, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope mom's doing good. Say hi for me. Grant. Yeah, New Hampshire is nice. That is really gorgeous, New Hampshire. It's interesting. They have... It's New Hampshire, right? Where they don't have the property tax, they have a view tax. The prettier your view is, the higher your tax is.
Yeah, and somebody's actually like educated in that. They go to your house and they look around.
Yeah. Jason Taylor, hey, in Edinburgh. Oh, hey, super chat. Taiki K, thank you very much. Bonjour from Paris. Your infectious smiles, unwavering honesty, and invaluable advice make being locked in much more bearable. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. And I'm sorry you're stuck and locked up, and we're all kind of there together, and so we're thinking of you, buddy. Hope you're doing as well as I tell people now. I hope you're doing as well as you can be in with all this craziness going on. Because I mean, it's really hard. Yeah, I'll go. Ben. Thanks, Ben. It's really hard to know like what's the right greeting to say. Hey, I hope you have a great day inside your house. It's like, hey, I hope you're. It's like, I hope you're healthy. Hope your family's healthy, and things are going as well as can be expected, I guess. So Mojo asks, hey, what's been your children's favorite holiday locations? So
Liam, what's your favorite holiday destination?
No idea.
No idea.
No,
that was quick too.
He says that because he's on a phone.
Because he's playing a game.
And I don't have any.
Oh, you don't like Mexico anymore?
But like when we went somewhere for Christmas, we've been.
I don't really care.
You don't
right.
care.
He doesn't care. Okay. He doesn't care right now. Can you tell the travel bug has left the children since we've been stuck at home?
Yeah.
No, but what they've told us on their other times we've asked them, so they like Costa Rica and Iceland a lot. Liam is usually, I want to go move back to Mexico and retire there at 8. Then where else for some other ones? They went to Rwanda. They love Rwanda a lot. Caleb was always asked if we can go back. Kane was asked about that the other day too. So there is that. Chile expat family. What quarantine? Oh yeah, you're down in Chile. It's all good.
Just wait,
there.
it's coming.
Yeah, just stock up. Don't buy all the toilet paper. Yeah, don't learn from, but be careful. Hey, Ellen in Atlanta. Morning, Melissa.
Hello, Okinawa.
Oh, cool. Okinawa.
Yeah,
Johnny's
cool.
in Okinawa. Nice.
Atlanta.
It's Saturday for Jimmy, Brian. We need a Walter's World shirt quarantine version. Actually, we are putting together that right now, and it's actually going to be a fundraiser. So we'll have that out this week, and so we'll be announcing that probably on Wednesday during the live feed. So there'll be that. It's about pausing the world. So that will be this. That's coming out this week for a quarantine version of our shirt. So we will have that. So don't worry about that. Thank you for bringing that out, Chris. Grant Reigns, view text. Yep. Okay, Eric Brown. I definitely want to go to Quebec City in the summer. How is it? It is fantastic in the summer.
Wonderful.
Quebec's wonderful. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Quebecois are so rude because the French, dude, everybody spoke English. You'll be fine. We had 0 issues. And they knew that we were from the U.S. too. And we had 0 issues.
And we weren't just like in the tourist areas. Like we stayed, our hotel was like
15, 20 minutes out.
Oh, at least 20 minutes. It was out in a suburb. And like one night we got the kids some fast food. Maybe it was Tim Hortons. I don't know. Something. No, it wasn't Tim Hortons.
I think it was like A&W or something.
Anyway, but we have Mark is better than I am, but I have limited French, and I was polite and tried to use some French, but they just spoke English with me. I mean, it was fine. Yeah. And honestly, the city, downtown, the historic area is lovely. For me, it's probably one of the most European feeling cities outside of Europe.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely North
Georgia.
America. Yeah, Helen, Georgia is more like that.
But that's Bavaria.
Helen, Georgia is like your small town Germany town, if you want to see that in America. And Quebec City is like a major French city in America. I mean, it's gorgeous. I highly recommend it.
In America.
In the North Americas. But the only thing that's bad about Quebec City is getting there, because a lot of times there's not a lot of direct flights, so you have to go through other places, so it can be a little pricey to go there. Hence why I haven't gone back in a while, so I want to get back up there. Oh, Chile expat family's not locked up on their farm. Cool. I'm glad we'll come visit you one of these days. Don't you worry. Grant, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. Okay, Stefan Bush. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
The banana. Mm-hmm. So, Stefan Bush, does it help that you have visited so many places before, or does it make it more difficult? I think the quarantine's difficult for everybody no matter what. I know I'm going stir crazy. I'm like, this is so weird not traveling. This is so weird not being other places. I mean, luckily, since we've been traveling, because Walter's World has basically been every month we've been someplace since 2015, basically. At least I have. And we've been doing this for years. And so, like, because it used to be just like, oh, we'd have our summer vacation, then like winter or spring, like short.
We at the very least, we had 5 trips a year.
Yeah, and then once it started getting.
Oh, that is better.
Then once we started really trying to do a lot more videos, when we moved up to 2 videos a week and live feeds and all that kind of stuff like that, we started traveling more and more. And so it got to be, like for example, in January, I went on 4 trips in the U.S. or around the U.S. So we went to Savannah, we went to Atlanta, and we flew back from Savannah. Then I flew the next day to Atlanta, did Atlanta. Then Liam and I were in Space Camp in Alabama. Then we were in New Orleans, or I was down in New Orleans for a guy's trip. So like that so it was like we had all these weekend things. And now it's kind of funny because all these things we kind of pushed off. It's time to like do them. So that's why like our garage has been cleaned out, our basement's been organized. Now
I'm working in the yard.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have a different take on that in some respect. I feel like because we travel so much and we're used to it just being the 4 of us wherever, we're more used to spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together than a lot of other families are because of that. So I feel like the adjustment for us was easier.
Yeah.
Just the scenery was significantly different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now we're working instead of, we're always working on a trip.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. You okay?
It's okay. It's just hot tea.
Worst husband ever. I'm sorry,
Worst
babe.
husband I'm ever going to have.
That's right, baby. Remember that when I'm dead and gone. You remember she said that when I'm dead and gone, okay?
Worst husband.
Anyway. Yeah, no, so it's a little different, but there's that. Oh, got a couple of super chats here. Thank you very much. Noah Ebert, I'm going to find a backcountry road to drive my convertible. Best country for car enthusiasts. Nice roads, museums, friendly police. Thanks. Well, it depends your definition of friendly police. If friendly police is like you can slip them a 20 and they leave you alone. There's places that are like that. What you're looking for is wider open spots for wider open country kind of things like that, because Europe isn't really good for it because you can't open it up because it's too congested. But you have some really beautiful drives, like you can drive through the Harz Mountains, you can drive through the Amalfi Coast if you don't want to throw up, but there's some like nice places to stop.
Drive from England up through Scotland.
Yeah, and because there's all the stately manors, you can do that thing, but you can never really get like super fast or really open it up. I mean, if you want to do that, but if you're looking for a nice drive, the U.S. is probably one of the best places to go for driving.
And Canada.
Oh yeah.
The U.S. and Canada, in my opinion, are the best. And there are a lot of really scenic things too. I mean, Route 66 isn't famous for nothing. So, and thank you for your super chat.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, Brendo, thank you very much for the super chat. When this is over, I want to plan a trip to Iceland. Any tips? Places that are must-sees, nightlife. So, I got plenty of Iceland videos that'll help you out. But some tips I'll have for you is, 1, don't expect much nightlife because, well, if you're going to go during the day,
there's only
no
Reykjavik.
There's Reykjavik's the only real city. Well, there's Akureyri in the north, but that's like 20, 30,000 people. Reykjavik's the only city that's going to have, so you're not going to have too much nightlife.
But you'll be so tired from going and doing
hiking
and seeing all day that
you
you won't care that you're not getting like nightlife. That's not what it's about.
Yeah, and also because we did the entire island, we went all the way around the island, and that's
we missed the West Fjords.
Oh, we missed the West Fjords up there,
and that was because
after doing the Eastern Fjords and over there.
But you know
what's
funny?
We were going to die.
So the Icelandic people, we kept meeting. They're like, "You're going to the East Fjords? Wow, I've never been there." There's a reason.
Yeah.
Because the nice, neat highway all of a sudden was like a dirt road, and there switchbacks,
angles,
massive angle, no rail, and like the kids, we were counting waterfalls because there are gazillions. And we looked at this one, we're like, wow, that one's really high. Next thing I know, we're going up this thing, and I'm like, holy cow, that's the top. I just passed the top of that stinking waterfall.
Yeah, and I'm like, because Jocelyn does the driving and I do the navigating, and so I was like going to take a video of the road. She's like, put it down. I don't need this. She's like, Jesus, take the wheel, because it was like
I've never been so scared driving in all of my life. We got to the top, and I got on my knees. Like I got on the ground, got on my knees, and I thank God for driving me up that mountain. It was insane.
I like Brian Boyd's. We should stick with the Mayan Ruins T-shirt and say "It's not edamame." Nice. Let's see. Kyle McPhail, yeah, he was going to be flying from Charlottetown to PEI down to the Dominican Republic on Monday, but not now, I guess. No. Sadly, not now. I know it'd been a great time to go. Oh, another super chat popped up. Thank you very much. Thomas Hughes, what is the best way to get around Peru in your opinion? The cheapest flights are to Lima, but I would love to see Arequipa too. So if you fly with LAN, That's
LAN.
LAN. That's who we flew with. You can get some decent price flights. Yes, your flights will be more than your Peruvian friends, but that's okay. What I would recommend you do, if you can find a travel agent in Peru to book them for you, they actually get some cheaper prices than if you buy like just online. But you can still get decent prices that way, because we've actually been to Arequipa. We have a video on there. Going to see the mummy Juanita there, which is extremely interesting.
Really
that was really cool. The food there's really good too. They kind of consider Arequipa like the foodie town of Peru.
But Peru has some of the best food
in the world. It's amazing.
I mean, shocked at how the variety and everything was good.
Yeah, and they really do, because first time I went to Peru was in 1998. I think 1998, and last time we were there was a couple years ago, and like you could, and I've been in between as well. I'm like, man, just how the food was good the first time I went there, but it's just evolved, and there are fusions and all kinds of stuff. So it's really kind of a cool thing. So you'll eat really well when you're there. But yeah, the cheapest flights. I've taken the super cheap flights, and I was kind of worried, but I've also just used LAN, and it was fine, and they weren't too expensive.
Someone may or may not have been going 110 miles an hour on I-95 north of Miami.
Dude, that's like everyone that does. That is I-95.
That's a little bit high, because here's what it is. Like, there's this mentality that I-95 is actually 95 miles an hour. It has nothing to do with the interstate number. It's just that's how fast you're supposed to go. But I wouldn't do that just north of Miami. I know those roads. Gui says there's a Brazilian who owns a bar in Iceland. Look for George Leite on Google.
Cool.
Great atmosphere.
Thanks, Gui.
Well, the Brazilians know how to party.
That's right. And they'll bring the fun. So Noel points out British B roads. So if you're not sure what a B road is, like how we have the main highways, those are like the country highways, the country roads, that kind of stuff. So he says B roads I've heard are great. Haven't been through them though, but there are a lot of speed cameras, and that's the thing. Driving around England and the UK is actually really gorgeous driving, but you randomly get tickets and you don't know because it's all cameras. So Jocelyn got a ticket, and we found out like 6 months later, and they had to be able to find us. So like the fine had tripled, and what was it? Enterprise, like, well, we're gonna.
It wasn't Enterprise. I think it was.
Oh, it's Europcar. It's Europcar. That's right. And Europcar is like, we're gonna have to charge your account. We're like, go ahead. That's fine. We'll pay the fine or whatever. And then they couldn't get it because American Express was like, you haven't rented a car from them in like 6 months, so we're not going to let them charge the money. So we're like trying to call, and they're like, American Express, okay, well the next time they try to charge, call us, we'll let it go through. But the thing is, like Europcar would not call us and let us know they were doing it. So it was like another 3 months of this kind of stuff.
It was insane.
Like eventually,
we did get it halted.
No, we eventually got it paid.
Well, I know, but they didn't continue like.
Oh yeah, adding on the
didn't.
Fines.
You know how all fines for speeding, parking meters, whatever, they double every like 26 minutes.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. So we did get them to halt that because we were trying to pay for it. It was just whoa, that was a jump.
Yeah, jumped like 50 people. Well, more there it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So
high.
Yeah, so Grant points out that in Iceland, the highways closed in the winter, south to north, gates closed, flights only. Yeah, and even when it's not winter, sometimes you wish they would have closed them. So there is that.
Oh, Purdue. Maui North Road is a crazy drive. Yeah, one of my best friends, actually my old roommate, she and her husband got married and did that. And they were like, well, that's a good way to start off a marriage. You know that you can live together if you make it through that without killing each other, because they were screaming at each other the whole way.
Nice. Bruce Dimon points out a good one. Favorite road is Beartooth Highway from Yellowstone to Red Lodge in Montana. That's got to be a gorgeous drive. Excuse me. Okay, so Matthew wants to know, what's a good Greece itinerary for 2 weeks? Planning my 5-year wedding anniversary in 2022. Cool. Okay, so if you got 2 weeks, you're most likely going to be flying in and out of Athens, most likely. So we'll use that as the base. Now, Athens, you don't need a ton of time. I would look at it. Do you guys want to do like more islands kind of stuff, or do you want to do mainland and islands? How do you want to do it? I usually like doing a mix. But if you're going on your honeymoon, or not honeymoon, but your anniversary, do you want it to be like a romantic honeymoon? Like we're just going to chill out and spend some QT together? Or is it, hey, I want to have an adventure on our 5-year anniversary? So if you want to have the adventure and see a lot, I would fly into Athens, then head down to Nauplia and do some of the Ethio and stuff and see some of the Peloponnese, and then take the ferry over to Crete, because you can do that from downloads, and then spend some time in Crete to get some island time. If you want to do another island, you can go to Santorini, or you can go to
you
Rhodes
can
and
pick
stuff.
an off island.
Yeah.
Think of all the ones you know, and then find one you don't, and
'Cause they'll
take
still
a
be
ferry
great.
there, and you'll have a really wonderful experience. Because that's just the way it is in Greece. But you'll also get a little bit of quiet time because there won't be so many tourists there.
Yeah.
Antius, I wanted to say thank you. I was reading about the Traveler's Rest Plantation in Natchez, so thank you for telling Stephen and Wendell about us. We will
cool.
get there eventually.
Well, most likely this summer, if we can travel, it'll be just in the U.S. Because I'm going to guess that a lot of the borders are still going to be closed. But you'll have a lot more domestic travel people going around, so we're going to do our best. Tristan Kuhn, my old student,
hey.
a person who attended my classes. And we actually have a video together. If you ever want to check him out, look up our Don'ts of Hostels video. And Tristan's in there. And are you still down in, he's down in Australia right now, having the quarantine stuff there. I don't know if he's still in Tasmania or not, but he was down there. Yes.
I want to point out, because Brendo is like, sounds beautiful, maybe it's a bit scary driving though. Listen, that it's only that one part that was scary. Literally the rest of Iceland's driving, you could practically do it blindfolded. The roads are smooth as silk. There are some one-lane bridges, but you can see very well, and they have like little pull-offs, and people are very courteous. Nobody drives really fast.
If there's an accident, it's two tourists hitting each other straight on the one-lane bridges.
And you're going so slow that it's like a fender bender. Like there was only that one bit, so just avoid if you can, or make sure you have good weather for that bit.
Yeah. So Purdue asked, does Peru have guinea pig as food? Yes, it does. It's more of a highland specialty. You don't see it as much as in like Lima or something like that. But if you're like in Cusco or you're going to Arequipa, you will have guinea pig there because that was like a staple for the cuisine for a long time. Where's another one? Baggy Tea. When in Argentina did you visit Iguazu and Buenos Aires and more? I actually studied abroad in Argentina in college, and then I went back right before I did my PhD and traveled around Argentina again. And we went back again a couple years ago. And actually and then we went back again. And so actually today's premiering video at noon today is what to eat when you're in Argentina. You'll notice I filmed it a little bit ago because I'm quite a bit chunkier in that one. That's what's weird looking at some of these older videos now. I'm like, oh my God, I'm still really fat, but like, it was like, oh my God, bad. Anyway, so when you're going to go down there, it is well worth it. Have plenty of stamps in your passport because you're probably going to be crossing Chile, Argentina a lot. So sometimes they stamp, sometimes they don't because they know you're going back and forth. So have a heads up for that.
I have two things. That's what I was trying to show you.
Okay.
That I have two things I want to answer before it moves.
Okay. But for me, I like Puerto Madryn, where you go out and you can go whale watching and see the penguins. That was really, really cool. If you go, Cordoba is okay when you want to go. That's the second largest city there. But for me, going to Mendoza and seeing the wine region there, I mean, I wasn't a wine drinker before I went there. After I went to Mendoza, I became a wine drinker. So definitely check that out. So Josh, you have a couple?
JF says, driving on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge during a storm is white knuckle driving.
How would you do
I don't
that?
even need a storm.
Why would you ever do that?
That bridge is just, and it's because
you start getting like, we don't drive over, we drive and she sees it, she's like, we'll go the long way around. We'll drive through downtown. That's fine.
No, but we did cross it at some point on one of our trips, and I was like, I don't ever need to do this again. That's why we don't do it anymore. That was probably like 7 years ago when we did that drive. Oh yeah.
But we've driven by it like last summer or the summer before. And you're like, nope, no.
So Blake Harrison, what are your favorite? And this is, I want to put this out for all of you. If some of you guys could reply to this too. But what are some of your favorite national parks around the Four Corners area? Trying to plan a West Coast road trip from the Florida Panhandle after this is over. So there's obviously like the Grand Canyon and what's the Monument Valley. Those are obvious
what's the
things.
canyon one?
But
not Grand Canyon.
Sedona.
Well, there's Sedona. It's a little bit farther, but there's well,
I was gonna say Meteor Crater. It's just something that's very different that a lot of people don't necessarily.
Won't take a lot of your time. Yeah, it's worth seeing.
But it's worth seeing, and the other one that's kind of an off the beaten path sort of thing is the Petrified Forest. That to me is just a really cool thing. Are they bringing groceries?
No.
Y'all, I ordered groceries the day before yesterday, and it was supposed to come between noon and 1 yesterday, and it's so backed up that they're like every hour they were like, well, it'll be a little later. It'll be a little later.
I mean, it was like,
And,
last night, they're like, okay, between 8 and 9. I'm like, I don't think they're coming.
But I forgot a couple of things. And so we are shopping with Meijer, and they're fulfilled by Shipt. But the problem is, with Meijer, you can't like edit things. You can't go in and add other things. And of course, stupid me forgot to like get chicken. And I mean, I need some chicken. We eat chicken and peanut butter and eggs. That's like pretty much what we eat.
So we're on a high protein diet on this thing. On this thing.
We eat other things too, but like those are like our main proteins.
True.
Right?
When you see, so somebody was asking me before, like talking about the food thing. Somebody was asking me before what if we're gonna put any quarantine things in our Christmas video this year. So you will see some interesting snack foods we have because we're making the 5th day this year is going to be on quarantine. So
yeah, like this has really thrown a monkey wrench in our thing. If you guys don't know, we do this a take or a parody of the 12 Days of Christmas, and we film it all over the world all year round.
Yeah, and each day, each separate day is in a different location.
So
I filmed one day on the couch, and so the next one will be.
It's a little bit funky right now, so we've had to
adjust
something.
It.
Yeah.
But we are doing it because we've been doing it since 2015, and for a lot of you probably know that one and you enjoy it, so we do have that. All right, let's see. Got some more gallivanting gals. Oh, disappeared. Whoa, I'm sorry. See, because when it jumps for us, it jumps and all the text disappears and some stuff comes back in.
Mesa Verde's lovely too.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Pyle. Sorry, I'm butchering your name. Any diet tips for holiday makers? I don't know if I'm the right person to ask, but I will say there's some stuff. I mean, I've been doing better because, like I said, I've lost 50 pounds in this last year and still traveling like crazy. I'm actually gaining weight because I'm home. Weird. That's also my quarantine choices, must think. Anyway, I would say one thing is know the kind of foods you want to have before you go because you can get very tempted into trying everything when you travel. What we do is like I'll get one dish, she'll get the other dish, and then we'll share instead of me having to have this and then like, oh, I got to have that some other time. And then I've had that taste, so I'm good. Another thing I look at is when you travel, maybe instead of having the 3 big meals, cut it down just because of the money side of it. Maybe you have a small breakfast or just like a croissant or something like that. And then you have your big meal at lunch and then cut to have a smaller dinner because you can save cash that way. So that's another thing. Also, I think one of the things you got to realize when I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of bigger friends that go travel and they actually lose weight when they travel because they're walking all the time. One of the things is when I work on your diet is in the exercise part of it, plan that before you go. So you're walking the month before you're going on your trip, you're walking. So when you're going there, you're used to it. It doesn't hurt as much. And then you're not
because you will walk like at least a few miles a day. I mean, there are days when we walk a lot more than that. Brian and Noel, I don't know what the conversation is, but I'm going to say second. I'm going to second the Sonoran dog, the hot dogs.
Oh, Sonoran hot dogs, yeah.
Are like outrageous good. I don't know. I guess they have them in other places, but
no,
that's one of my absolute favorites.
Only there.
Yep.
Okay, Nina. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Considering a road trip, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, is this doable after COVID, of course? Yes, it's totally doable. I used to live in Lithuania. I lived there for 3.5 years. It is very easy to drive around. The roads are fine. There is some pain off the cops occasionally, but they've gotten better at that. But you could definitely do that. It's not a tough road trip. I've done it before. I would say you need a max of 10 days. Highlights of it: Tallinn. I would fly into Tallinn, get your car. Tallinn to the islands of Estonia, coming down through Tartu, then go to Riga, and there's a beach town right outside of Riga you can go to, Ventspils, I think. You can go there for that. Then head down to Lithuania. When you go into Lithuania, well, you can go to Sigulda as well. It's like castle ruins and stuff. But when you go down into Lithuania, you hit the Hill of Crosses when you come in.
So.
Where it's all like thousands of crosses together. It's amazing. If you watch one of our Lithuania videos, it'll be on there. I'll try to put out a Lithuania video here in the next couple of weeks to give you some more ideas. And then go down.
The story behind it's cool.
Yeah, story behind it's really cool. And then we go to Klaipėda and go to Palanga, is like the beach that beach place to go to in the summer. Then from there, you go over to Vilnius and spend some time in Vilnius and fly out from there, or you just do the straight shot back up. If you don't want to drive, you can do all that with public transportation as well. But it's so much easier to do it when you have your own car, and it's pretty easy to drive there, and there's plenty of parking, so there is that.
And yes, Sahil has a good point. You can take buses in the around there, and they are pretty good. We took one from Latvia.
From Estonia to
Latvia. And then one of our friends from Lithuania picked us up in
Albi, my brother,
our dear.
That's buddy. So Nina had there was another one.
And
Karen,
that.
Karen, we have been to Belize. Yeah, we do say
we have several videos.
It's really worthwhile going to, especially if you're looking for like a simple kind of just relaxing kind of spot. Really nice to do.
Montana is a lovely drive.
Yeah.
You know the West Coast or the west half of both the United States and Canada has just really beautiful drives.
Yeah. I like all these great. I mean, I need to go back to this one and go through just write down all these great drives.
If I go to Tucson, diet's going out the window. You know what? Sort of, but not really, because it's not a lot of like high carb. There's really not a lot of sugars.
The Southwestern cuisine is so good.
It's so good, but there's not like a lot of sugars and things, so it's really not as bad as
throw in like a pozole or a soup here and there for a meal.
Green pozole is my faves.
Yeah, that'll help you catch on some stuff.
I might make that this week with our leftovers.
There you go.
It's a great soup to use leftover meat with.
Yeah. Chicken,
pork. Shoot, I put beef in there too.
No, Ebert. Good Mexican food is my weakness. Hell, even bad Mexican food is my weakness. I miss that stuff so much. Hey, and Alexei, good in Russia. Good to see you.
You read that. Good job.
I don't know if I read it right. It's been a while since I was reading that. Let's see. Okay, so Daniel Conley, ever visit South Korea? I hear the street food is amazing there, among other things. Yeah. I wanted to go. My dad used to work there a lot when I was a kid, and he never took us. My mom and I are still pissed. Our original plan for summer 2021 was Australia, New Zealand, and then coming up like Indonesia, Philippines, Taiwan, South Korea, then come home. Now it's kind of up in the air, so we're not sure what's going on.
Oh, the gals had a 5-day wait for pickup from Kroger's, and that was pickup, not delivery.
Wow.
That's why my
mom has that too. My mom, it's about 3 or 4 days.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
The last one I did, the woman was excellent. We were texting back and forth the whole time. It was wonderful. Yeah. So.
Johnny Charlie, thank you very much for the super chat. So, have you thought about planning a trip to Israel or any other Middle Eastern countries? Thanks so much for all your travel advice. We have. So, we had one planned for last November, and we had to cancel that, and so we moved that to this June. And now our June one is now gone, and we had our
It sucks.
It sucks because we've got a really good guide that he's like I can't rebook, so I got to keep your money. And I'm like,
if he had gotten someone else, he was going to give us our money back, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, and this one he's not. It's like, well, sorry, and I'm like, yeah.
My hair is terrible today.
But yeah, we were planning to go there. That's one of those things. I know I would like to get to Dubai relatively soon. I thought about going there this January, but then we ended up doing Space Camp with Liam when I had time. So some of these things, it's just the time to get there and stuff like that. We're going to go, but it is on the plans.
If we haven't been there, it's probably on the plans.
Yeah, because honestly, the only places we're not going to go to are active war zones and North Korea. I mean, pretty much.
Well, as Americans, we really can't do that.
Yeah, so.
I mean, that's not.
Well,
okay.
You can. I mean, some people go, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but
Andrew Curry,
James Rodman.
True. Andrew Curry. Hey, Mark, I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Andrew. Do you recommend going to Alaska? I do. And you want to go June through September, maybe late May through September. That's when you want to go. And it used to be if you went in September, you could actually get some good prices. But a lot of the more mature cruise travelers have learned that's a good, lower price time to go, and there's less families and stuff like that. So now they've driven up that the cheaper September cruises are now just as expensive as the rest of the year. So pick a time that works for you to go. So that's what I would recommend to you for that.
Oh, your mom's on.
Oh, Kathy Walters, a wonderful woman who births fantastic children. Genealogy. And she's talking about her family. Genealogy. Genealogy is one of my interests to do. So do your research before you go. Plan your visit ahead and find family resource centers where you are going. So my mom and I, we went to the Shetland Islands in Scotland last year to go see where our families were. We found graves, we found homes, we found places where they worked, and all kinds of stuff. We got to learn some family history that, like, not our family, but our cousins were total jerks. So that was kind of interesting to find out.
Is there D before jerk?
I changed
Jerks?
what I was gonna say, and then and we were gonna go to Strasbourg and Heidelberg and Baden-Baden, around that area between Germany and France this summer. But with coronavirus, it's probably not going to happen. But we had family there, and it's true. Because a lot of people, they say, well, where should we go first? I said, you know what? Wherever you want to travel in the world, figure out where your family's from. If you're from the U.S., because we're all from somewhere, like, find out where you're from and go see your family roots. It makes it an interesting experience, and a lot of times it explains a lot. I know the first time I went to Germany, like, I went there and the food and stuff like this, I'm like, now I understand grandma's cooking. And then I'm like, now I understand the German town in my hometown is like, it looks just like Northern Germany. I got it. So it is one of those things. But there's a lot of resource centers out there in a lot of countries, especially in Europe, for people who want to find their family history. So it can be really, really nice.
It's amazing. I am the 8th generation to sleep in my family home in Greece. And that we were taking the kids there this summer, and they were going to be the 9th. Can you imagine? Like, but to touch a building that so many of my ancestors were in and birthed in and lived in, it's just amazing to me. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Can we pull this forward a little? I can't read squat over there.
You can move your chair forward.
Because I'm like...
You can do whatever you want, sweetie. It's a free country.
It's a tiny screen, y'all. It's like this big.
Yeah, well, it's small. And then, so YouTube doesn't let you adjust the size of the font of the stuff that's going by. So if you're wearing your glasses, a little tough. There's a couple things I want to point out. Brian Boyd was like, hey, dude, just tipped you $1,000. No, that's 1,000 yen. So whenever someone does a super chat, it defaults to the currency in the country they're in. And so you kind of look at it that way. So you can just go and look it up, like what it is. But no, it's not 1,000. But I appreciate any super chat. Thank you very much. But that's what it's there. And sometimes we'll get it. I'm like, I have no idea what that is, but I appreciate it. It's really nice. So it's really nice to get. Let's see. Ooh, lobster dinner in Prince Edward Island is supper or super, or both. It could be supper and it's super.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone was saying that their pickup is like 2 weeks out. Yeah, and that's one of the things is you really have to start in Calgary.
That's a big city. I bet it's worse in big cities. We're in a smaller town.
We're in the middle of the cornfields, so
yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's the thing is right now a lot of it's really kind of planning because it's not what you have now. It's like, hey, what am I going to need in 2 weeks? And so you're putting that order in to make sure you can get it and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, like they'll say like, will this work or that work? And you're like, hey, whatever you want to send me, I'm cool with. No, that's not the. Marie McKinnis is here. Great. Oh, great. I just got off work, waiting for the bus. Retail's slower here, but still good days. I'm starting to feel more stressed thinking about the chance of getting and spreading the virus to family. Yeah, and that's the thing is you have a lot of people out there that, all those people that are working to get those store shelves stocked and taking in the money and things like that, they're constantly in contact with people. And so the stress and worry there, because sometimes you're not worried about yourself. It's worried about taking it home to if your mom's living with you and stuff like that. Like my mom is on this right now. When you see Kathy Walters, that's my mom. And I'm like, Liam was like, can we go see grandma and grandpa? I'm like, no, we can't. No, that's we can't see them for a while. It's until this is calmed down. Even though we've been inside for this is day 22 for us being stuck inside. So, hopefully we're okay. But I'm still not taking a chance with them. So there's that. So Marie, thank you for the people that you're helping. If they don't say thank you, I'm saying thank you to you. So, let's see. British Aussie lover. I'm going to New York in May from England. Looks like that's not happening, right? Yeah, that's probably not going to happen because right now you have everything. Excuse me. The president said, like, look, the next 2 weeks are going to be really bad. Dr. Fauci's like, yeah, the next 2 weeks are going to be really bad. So what you're going to have is you'll have this peak probably in, middle of like around Easter, the deaths and the cases. And then hopefully then the peak starts going down. But the thing is just because it's going down doesn't mean it's not there. There's still going to be the cases. And so stuff will still be shut down for a while, and then when it comes back, it's also... Because here's the thing, like Delta, they were down 94% in their ridership. Their ridership. And they're canceling flights and stuff like that. So you don't know if there's even going to be some of these flights, and when are they going to start up again? Because when are there going to be enough people to go? It's like right now. I mean, I have flights. I have a flight to Boston in May. We have flights to Europe in May and June, and I know we're not going to go on those because I'm like, it's not going to be open. At least that's my opinion. It's not going to be open. So it's like, okay, but I'm just waiting till it gets closer till we can actually work with them and stuff to rebook, because I don't want Delta to go out of business. I don't want any of these. I don't want anybody to lose their job from this. And what's sad is there's already over 10 million Americans are losing their job around the world, and what's the long-term ramifications for this? I mean, hopefully we can come out better after this, and hope people can.
I have heard several places who have had to lay people off, but they're like, we will rehire you. Like, when this is over, if as many people as we can rehire, we will rehire from the people that we have fired first, which is, I think, kind.
Oh, Nina, thank you very much for the super chat. That is super awesome. I'm glad we could do these live streams. I mean, for us, it's funny because like the Saturday morning one is more the kind of relaxed one, and that Wednesday, because Wednesday we got 3 days of homeschooling. And
we're a little fried on Wednesday night.
So Wednesdays we're like, boys, pick out a DVD, go watch DVD upstairs. And we like now it's just whiskey and wine. Like that's we're going whiskey and wine Wednesday.
We don't know which.
Yeah, so we're both, who knows, but it's like this is a way that we all can kind of have a little bit of adult conversation. Even though a lot of us just chat, us talking and stuff, but at least gives people a chance. And that's why, Justin said this before, is like the conversations and friendships that are going on here is so nice. Like I was on the Means to Travel's live feed, or we were both on Means to Travel's live feed, and we saw Megan and Mark that are usually on here too, and they were popping up on there. So it is nice.
It's great. And Wednesday night, because we're having cocktails, it feels like we're having friends over hanging out, and we have what I call family dinners. So friends who are like family, we have dinner at least once a week with somebody. Often
I'll say a few times a week.
Usually 2 or 3 times a week, people are over. That's just who we are. We like to always just be with our friends and family all the time. And it's been really hard to not have that. So you guys have been that for us, and I'm really grateful. I talk about that in my blog that I wrote yesterday, just about how I'm grateful that we have the ability to do that.
You can read her blogs at waltersworld.com. They're all right there. So I have there's a few questions I want to kind of go through. Hey, Shady Brunch in Vancouver. Hope you're doing well. S. Danielson, yes. There's a lot of love for Walters World in Minnesota. Minnesota people will be out there.
Minnesotans are on here.
And then the Wisconsins just come up and say, hey, no, we love it more. So it's kind of a fun thing. Frederick David Wagstaff. Yeah, Wagstaff. Do you all go outside for walks? Yes, we go on lots of walks. Not when it's raining, but lots of walking. I'm surprised the dog didn't get up when I said that. Oh, he's asleep. So there's that. Let's see. Paul Epi has a good question. Hi, Mark. Hi, Paul. Hi, Mark. Sorry, I'm just getting back and forth. I have a peanut allergy, and I'm curious what regions of the world are safe for me to travel to and which aren't. I'm curious about Southeast Asia, South America, and Eastern Europe. Thanks, and stay safe. You stay safe too, buddy. So in Europe in general, even in Eastern Europe, peanuts are not really a big thing, so it's not too much of a worry just in general in the cuisine. But I found in Europe, if you could just ask the chef or tell them, it makes things a lot easier.
There is a website. I need to write this down. I need to memorize it. There is a website. I always have to do this for people. But they will translate your allergy into almost every language in the world, I think. And they will mail you laminated cards. And it may say it in like English. And then like if you're going to several places, say you're going to 5 countries, they'll put all of those languages plus English on. And it's a laminated card, so you can just show somebody, which makes it really, really good.
And I've seen that
sorry, go on.
I see a lot in Europe and Eastern Europe too. People are like, hey, the chefs will sometimes come out and talk to you, like make sure everything's okay. I've seen a lot more of that. South America, I've seen it a bit more. There's some peanut there though, but it's that's why it's always good to have that card. Southeast Asia is a bit more complicated because you have a lot more of the things there. Because just like, is it a peanut allergy? Is it a tree nut allergy? Is it just general nut allergy? That's why it's really important to have those things.
And so,
but you can still travel.
You can still travel. I'm going to speak specifically to China. there are so many dialects in China that like you can't just have it written in Mandarin. You'd need to have it written in there are several other things, because we found out, even though we had learned certain words in Mandarin when we were in China, that often like our taxi drivers and wait staff didn't know what we were saying because they
spoke from their dialect from where they're from.
So okay.
Oh, Luke, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend.
Thank
So
you.
Luke says, we are planning a family trip, 2 adults, 2 children, to Europe for Christmas and New Year's. What are some recommendations for places to visit and see? So Christmas markets are a must, especially if you got kids. They're fantastic.
Kids love them.
Thing is, like some places, they literally stop the Christmas markets like the 23rd is the last day in a lot of the small towns in Germany. Now in the big cities, they go on through New Year's, so you can still have some fun with them. So that's nice. I would say if you're going at Christmas time, New Year's, I would stick to like Czech, Germany, Austria, France, because they all have like a ton of Christmas stuff with little Christmas markets you can go out to. And a lot of those Christmas markets, I don't know how old your kids are, but they'll have little fun fairs there too, so they can do that. And our kids really loved it. They still have a good time when we go there.
They still do, because I feel like Europeans are really good about having stuff for like a variety of ages.
Yeah.
Because even Caleb at 13 will find things still that he enjoys seeing, especially in the markets. But those are, like, for me personally, I don't know, I think for all 4 of us, we find that the smaller towns, especially at Christmas, are a little more manageable with market, because markets can be busy. Even a small town market, you can kind of feel like a little bit like hemmed in, just because there's so many people. It gets a little claustrophobic. If you have small children, I'm going to give you 2 safety tips for that, because you'll be in crowds. One, dress them in bright colors, so you can kind of spot them if they have like a bright green hat or something, like stocking cap or whatever. So it's easier to find them if they get separated from you. 2, teach them the word for help in whatever the local language is. And then bonus number 3, when the kids were little, we would take a card from our hotel and we would write our phone numbers on it, make sure you include a country code, and we would stick it in their sock, so that if something happened, they knew that was there and they could do something about it. I've never felt uncomfortable in any of those markets with my kids, but it's scary for a kid if they get separated. So you want to give them as many lifelines as you can.
Yeah, and so that's and you have video on.
I do have a video on.
We need to make a new one of it, but
it's
yeah,
really old.
It's really old, but it's still there. It's still helpful. So Claire's in Minnesota's representing. Yeah. Let's see. So Antius, we've been many places, but Paris is the only place that makes us weep to leave. We still hope to move there part-time. Thank you for dispelling the negative crap about it. I'm glad we can. We're the same. We go back every year. We were there twice this past year. We were going to be back this year too. Maybe we still will. Fingers crossed. So my friend asked about going to Russia in July. We can finger crossed, but no one really knows about what's going to happen. But yeah, that's one of our places we always want to get back to.
Getting to the U.S. from Russia in July.
No one can say. No one can say. It's
I know.
Really
I
tough.
hate not being able to give people any answers.
Yeah. Let's see. Shakes. Travel agent still saving the day. Wife got a call yesterday from a couple in tears, thanking her for going above and beyond to get them home to Nova Scotia from South America. Stay safe, everyone. Yeah. Thank you to all those people that are helping. The travel agents, they're still working, because there's still people that are stuck. We still get emails from people saying, I'm still stuck in Poland. I'm still stuck in in Denmark and stuff. And I'm like, hey, we're here for you, what we can do. But, I mean, thank you to those people that are trying to get them home. Like, the Delta agents are still being fantastic, even though they're hurting. And American and United have had some good things too. It's nice to hear we're all still trying to get people home. Just because it's one thing, it's like being quarantined someplace you don't know versus being stuck quarantined at home is a very big difference, just for your heart, just for like the peace of mind. So,
what are some take your breath away moments from your travels? Al asks.
I know you can tell you one in Greece.
Well, yeah, I have. The first one in Greece was like, it just made me cry, because being half Greek, my dad finally took me there after I graduated college. And as we were coming into Athens, I saw the Acropolis from the plane, and I was literally in this old woman's lap. this yaya, and I was just bawling. And she was just patting me, and she understood. And then the other one was when we were on Crete, and we'd gotten there at night, and I couldn't see anything. We were out in the country, and when in the morning when I walked out of my room, I turned, and the door was wide open, and it was just like olives and grapes as far as the eye could see in the hills, and it was just so beautiful. It took my breath away, and I just tears started streaming. I don't know. Those are two big ones for me.
I think for me, the take your breath away moments were more like the first time I saw, first time you're like, oh my gosh, that really is the Eiffel Tower. Like, I actually see it. I remember flying into Germany the first time I was flying into Frankfurt. I'm like, oh, look, there's the tall building. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, look, I remember flying through JFK going to Finland when I was a kid, and I saw the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, oh! Yeah, so for me, a lot of times was that first time I saw some famous sight I'd seen before, and you're like, oh. And then other times would take my breath away in sadness. As I remember when I was in Brazil in college, and this little kid, I was at the bus station going out to Praia de Galinhas, and this kid is playing with their toys was playing with burnt matches. Like they're playing in the dirt with burnt matches. And I tell my kids all the time, when they complain, I'm like, hey, you have toys, you have stuff. You're not playing with burnt matches, just the only toys you have. So that was one of those things that like take your breath away, and you realize like how lucky we are that we can do things like this and all those kind of things. So we thank you all for helping make these things happen. So thank you for that. And thank you to everybody that's here. This is really a really great thing that we all get to be together, and we're seeing all these questions and people answering things that we're not getting to, and it's really nice. So thank you. Thanks for bringing that up, Al.
Stefan Bush. Have you ever thought about moving to another country forever? Which country do you think has the best setup to live with your family? So I don't know about forever. I don't think we'll live anywhere forever. But yes, we've considered it. We lived in Portugal as a family. That's where Liam was born. And we would do it again. And as far as setup, there are different things to take into consideration. Things like healthcare, accessibility to hospitals. Those are
schools.
Things as a mom that I think of first, and then schools second. Transportation and how easy it is for us to get around with a car or without a car. And for us being who we are, I need to be able to, how easy is it for me to travel to and from, like for us, like where we are, even though we're sort of not in a big city, we've got good regional airports nearby. So, within a couple hours, I need to be able to get to a good airport. So,
and another thing that really influences right now, because our parents are older, and so we want to kind of be nearby, which is one of the reasons why, there's also financial crisis in 2000 when we moved back here to the U.S., but that's also like, to be closer to family and stuff like that. So there's a lot of influence out there. So is it going to be able to get us back home to see our parents and be back with them? Giuseppe makes a good point. How about the Trentino regions in Italy for Christmas? Yes, those are all, like northern Italy is really good for Christmas as well. I love Trentino, so beautiful. Well, and then Torino, and then there's so many nice places in northern Italy. It's fantastic. Justin asks, "Hey, will Caleb be showing up on this live stream? I saw Liam just now." I'm gonna say that's a hard no. So I was making the video that's going to go live today at noon is what to eat when you go to Argentina. We're going to have a premiere, so if you want to chat and be online, we'll be there for that. Yeah. So Caleb, I was up till probably 12:30, 1 o'clock working on that, and Caleb came in about 12:30. He's like, "Hey, you still up?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, okay. I think I might go to bed soon." I'm like, "All right, you go ahead, man." So he went up. I guess it was like 1:30 went up to bed, and then he'd finally you could tell he'd just fallen asleep because like the video he was watching was still playing, and he was asleep. So I'm like, "Yeah, he won't be up till probably 11." So
at least.
Sorry. Oops.
That was a
it's
big
all
jump.
Jumping around. Sorry. Mantova. I've been to Mantova for a calcio match back in the day. There's Katarzyna. Johnson, I love your wallpaper. By the way, your wine nights give me a great excuse to start drinking at 3 p.m. here in Hawaii in Stockholm. So just want to say I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm glad we can help. So yes, Jocelyn loves the wallpaper, and so we have a couple other spots in the house with some eclectic wallpaper styles. which are
But
nice
they're
because
small spots.
they're small spots, and it does bring a little bit of white to these grayish walls. So it's
Yeah,
very nice.
I like color, obviously.
Yes. Let's see.
Neutral background, color everywhere else. All right.
Did you get your money back? Gee whiz. I haven't gotten my money back from a lot of things. That's why a lot of times. So if you can't get your money back for a hotel or a flight or something like that, then just reschedule it for later in the year. And then maybe they'll have a better chance. Then you might get to use it. But there's no point just like losing it now because there's no fee to change it. Just change it back to a later date, and maybe you can go for that. Or what we actually did for our VRBO, because VRBO wasn't giving anybody their money back. Back I don't know what they're doing now, but we just rescheduled for later in the year, and actually we went from like 8 nights to 4 nights, and they're like, well, we'll refund part of your money because you're only going to stay for 4 instead of 8. So we got some money back that way. It was kind of interesting. That's why it's really important. For those of you that are booking with the low prices now and stuff like that, make sure you see what their cancellation policy is, because there's no cancellation policy. Then I mean, now you can't say, I didn't know there was coronavirus. No, you booked when everyone knew, so they can like get out of being like, well, you knew this was going to happen. Okay, so Jocelyn has 2. She would like to talk.
So one, Lapland, Finland. Nick.
Look, I have a broken
says,
collarbone from up there.
We are going to take our kids. We have been to Finland, and we just didn't have time because of other pressing things.
I lived there long time ago.
So we didn't get to take the kids to Lapland, but it's in the works. And then Mr. Blonde says that's why
Hey, Mr. Blonde.
That's why football is the most popular sport in Brazil. It only requires a ball, and you can use a tennis ball or bottle cap, etc., and you can improvise the goal. So that, you know what, that's true. And it is something that I hold very close to my heart. We often travel with...
we always travel with a soccer ball.
Well, we always travel with a soccer ball for our kids, and they play with them. And sometimes, like, toward the end of a trip, or if they see and they're playing with kids that they recognize as being... unable to own a soccer ball, our kids will give it to them. But sometimes we just travel with an extra ball. We have a hand pump and a needle to blow balls up with, so we might just travel with an extra one, and we give balls away to kids. And I want to work on starting something with that at some point, and that's kind of a goal of mine, because giving a kid a soccer ball, like when we were in Rwanda, the kids were playing, and there was this kid who was so talented. I mean, when you see natural talent, you know it. And this kid, like, he was maybe 11. He had a boot like you can't believe. I mean, it was really good. And the kids, Caleb and Liam, were like, we want to give them this soccer ball. And so they did, and the village chief, was keeping it. The kids elected him to keep it.
They said make sure you go to the village.
Yeah, the kids actually, the children of the village said the chief should keep it. That way it's everybody's, and we know that it will be safe with him. And it was really cool, but that's a huge thing, soccer balls. And if any of you travel and you're going to be anywhere where you know you're going to be around kids who are needy, take a soccer ball and a hand pump. You can get a cheap hand pump at any sporting goods store along with the ball.
Hey, Anne in Berlin, good to see you.
James T, do you have a favorite place to visit in Brazil? Also, I visited Belo Horizonte and Ouro Preto last year on your recommendation. It was an amazing time.
Another place I like the Pantanal region, which is in southwest Brazil, to do like adventure tourism and stuff like that, going, piranha fishing and seeing the jacaré, the alligators and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good stuff here. What do you pause it? So also João Pessoa, I think it's João Pessoa, up by Maceió. I really like that place too.
I have no idea what my astrological sign is. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Shake's, their son did that too.
Sorry, we're trying to help manage. Thank you to Mark Finley for helping manage some of the,
and to Michael Mann too,
and Michael Mann, all the people on the Means of Travel, all of our moderators, because they can delete some and they can do some stuff. And then we have to ban some people.
Sometimes we have to confirm.
Some people just are not very nice sometimes, but some people just get on and cause trouble and stuff like that because they're like 12. So anyway, Scott Reza, thank you very much for the super chat and the pear. Very nice.
That's
thanks.
Not a pear. Oh, it is a pear.
That is a pear.
A bird.
Silly Jocelyn.
All right.
Oh, Michael Mines. How do we not even see this? Thank
I
you
don't
very
know.
much for the
Things
super
pop.
chat. Michael, just want to echo all of the wonderful comments. Thank you two for bringing us all together for these videos. This community helps to keep me sane. It helps to keep us sane too, buddy. Thank you very much for being on here.
I'm so glad.
Eric Brown, how do we...
I don't know.
None of these
And
actually showed up. They're not showing
They're
up.
supposed to pop at the top,
So like,
and they're not.
so like what you see that like the color thing will pop up there. Like we have a different thing and it's not showing them. So Eric Brown, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy.
Thank you.
It says thanks for the vids during these boring times. Hey, I'm glad we can. And I'm super chat people. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's not showing us. I'm scrolling up to see Luke. Okay, we got Luke.
Luke's.
We got Luke's. Okay.
What I love is that I'm starting to read on the side and see that you guys are having as many conversations with one another as we're having, or more, and that
That's awesome.
makes me so happy. Mark and I, we started our marriage that way. We wanted to make our friends and family be friends and family. So like at our wedding,
we mixed all the tables together. So of course people were like, why am I seeing my people I don't know?
Yeah.
Because the only chance we get a chance for you to do to meet. So when you see it some kid's birthday or something like that, you're like, I know that person, not like, hey babe, who is that?
yeah.
know?
So, and most people have it. His guest side, her guest side, and ours were all mixed up. And people were like actually like a little like not happy about it. And I was like, too bad. I want you to know each other. There were always everybody had somebody at the table that they knew. But then probably didn't know anybody else.
And we try to make sure that like you have your cousins that like to talk and get other people talking. So we try to have they didn't know they were the facilitator, but we tried to have that so there'd be somebody that kind of talk.
Like we put my dad and Jeannie with
Nishwanders,
and Cheryl because
I
I knew that they would see eye to eye on a lot of different things, just knowing their personalities and whatever. And anyway, I just wanted people to be friends. That's what we do.
So means to travel. Any top favorite guidebooks you've used for planning trips over the years? So we have different stuff we look at because I like Lonely Planet because they have really good maps. And they give you like more of like it's here's the information versus like some of them it's more like I had such a great time here. It's a really wonderful place and you should go here. I'm like, I don't need the 3 sentences of fluff. I need to know what I need to see, what's the main things in there. So if you're more like down and dirty, give me the information and I don't need the like 900 fluffy words. The old school Lonely Planets are better for that. Now they have these new Discover series, which is a bit more fluffy. I would say with the excessive stuff you don't really use. But they're old school books. That's what I really like. But I like to do like DK's books to show pictures to the kids to give them an idea. That's more like a history book kind of stuff that gets you to understand the culture and some of the sites.
For me personally, on that note, with that kind of travel thing, I love National Geographic Traveler books. They're hard to find. They're not out there on everything. There was one right up there I just wanted to say. Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't speak the native language and no one understood you? Yes.
Japan, China. Let's see, Eastern Europe. Back when I used to travel there in the early or late 90s.
I've been in like little small towns in different countries where no one understood me, and maybe I had a couple words. But you know what? That knowing just 1 or 2 words, like please, thank you, I don't understand, or I don't speak. Knowing just those things. People will be happy with that, and they'll try to work with you. It makes it easier.
Like this, to get drunk in like old Russian influenced places, like hey, the czar stand me here. You gotta give me some free drinks. You do this, so people they're like, hey, you know the right sign, and you make friends that way all the time. Ginger Dean, Paris every year for the past 5 years. Love it. Hey, it's an awesome place.
We have not been to Thailand yet.
Oh, wow. Gallivants and Gals. Delta is issuing credits that are good through 2022. That's cool because that's showing that they realize this is a long game. This is a long game with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, means to travel. So I was trying to find that Ethiopia flight with Delta. I could not find it. So I'm trying to find that one for a future thing. So I'm trying to look for it. Thanks for showing for us.
Welcome to the feed, Simon.
Simon, thanks for hopping on, buddy. Appreciate it. Pyle, he went to bed. Thank you very much. I'm glad we could be your highlight for the week. Super Llama, I'm glad we can be doing these videos for you. We got more of the videos coming out. Gee whiz, I'm so depressed. I had to cancel my trip to Seattle to hike all over Olympic National Park. I know it sucks. Hopefully you can get back. in the future. Right now, though, you're making the right choice of coming and not going because you keep staying safe. So think positive. You're doing the right thing. It's tough to do the right thing sometimes, but you're doing the right things. Henrik, I've loved the Greek Islands for almost 25 years. Awesome. Frederick, Dave, I'm just going to go through a bunch real quick. Frederick, what fun things have you done today? Today?
This?
I showered. I showered in the kids' shower.
I shaved my legs.
Ooh.
Woo!
Whoa, that's like silky smooth right there. Oh my. Yeah, so we have
that is just so TMI.
What? Silky smooth. You got nice
I
long
haven't
legs.
shaved my legs in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I cleaned
That's
out my
not true.
earballs and I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, so because you know how things like to happen when you're doing this. So like we're the quarantine and things like that, and so our shower upstairs busted and leaked in our garage. So we can't use that shower up there, but we're not going to have anybody come work on it until this is all over. So now we shower in the basement. But since we woke up like about, I don't know, less than an hour. Well, no, an hour. When you came in, it was like 7:55.
I was
So-
up earlier than that. I let the dog out. I just went back to bed.
Yeah, so basically it was like after 8 o'clock
Because
when
I
we
was
got
thinking
up.
it was Friday, not Saturday, and I'm just
Yeah,
a little
the
off.
days are lost. I'm like, it's like somebody posted a thing. It's like, it's all just some
Days.
day. I'm like, I don't know.
Days and hours have, like, every time I sit down to write my blog, I'm
Dinner.
like, how many days has it been?
I'm like,
And
and
I get
I
on
have
the
to go on
calendar.
I have to go on the website and look like, oh, the last one you posted was 2 days ago, and that was day 21. So we're on day 23 now or
No.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
No.
like-
Today's day 22.
Okay, whatever. Like, I was just giving an example. Oh! I didn't even do anything this time, you nut job. Oh my goodness. Anyway, someone had a really important question that was really serious, and you've now ruined it.
Butthead.
All right.
Butthead.
Liam.
Okay, so Grant Rennie, there's a lot of nighttime arrivals at Herculean Airport when it's dark and you can't see much. Yeah, that's true both. That's Herculean, and that there's evening stuff. There's a lot of places that are like that. Like if you get into Rwanda, a lot of the international flights come in the evening. If you're looking at like Lima, that was one thing. Get into Lima unless you're like LAN or something like that, the local airlines. You're coming in at night, and so it's this weird thing. Like I got to get a hotel because I get in at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. You feel stupid, but you have to get the hotel for the night before, so you're kind of paying for that.
Was it Ecuador that almost all the American flights left at night? Like
at 2 in the morning.
It was just something weird. Like we
Yeah.
had to be at the airport at midnight to leave at 2 or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's because
That was
it's so because Ecuador is I mean, here's what a lot of people don't realize: if you're flying to Central America and northern South America, if you're from the East Coast of the U.S., it's almost relatively close in comparison to flying to like California. So what they end up doing is they leave at like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, so you get into the U.S. at like 7 a.m. And so you're in the U.S. at 7 a.m. or, well, depending on between 5 and 7 a.m., then you can go and get those first flights in the morning to go to the rest of the country. So they have a lot of things scheduled in there for that.
Yeah.
Whereas like European flights arrive usually in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
And so you have, because they have to all kind of plan these things out. So it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right.
gee whiz, they had to cancel their Montreal camping trip. I'm sorry, man. Hey, it makes you feel any better. We've canceled a lot too, so... Okay, Marie wants to know, my son Connor, hey Connor, hope you're doing well, buddy. Wondering what computer games your sons are playing and do they have a VR headset? He wants one for his birthday. No, they do
No.
not have VR headset. I will not
I
get him a
kinda
VR
want
headset.
one.
Liam said he kind of wants one, but we're not
Guess
getting
what?
one. It's not
Ain't
happening.
happening, child.
I know.
You know,
He
see?
said, I know.
So Caleb now, well,
They don't play
Liam,
very many online games. They just sort of as much as we are online, we kind of try to limit that with our kids.
like we'll let them play like console games, but we're like if they would play Fortnite or if they would play like Xbox Live or something like that, we like restricted like look, it's got to be people you know. So like it's funny because like Caleb has become better friends with some of his cousins and some of his friends abroad because they play online together. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like they pretty much. We have to approve of everybody that they play with. We're very particular about that.
But in terms of the gaming stuff, so Liam, is it he's got the Wii U? Yes, we
It's
have
like
old school
how
stuff.
many years old?
Yeah, it's old, but we have Rayman on there. Yeah,
Extra large, number one.
Yeah.
That's like 500 years old.
that's older than you, Liam.
That it literally.
So the Wii U,
I know.
Liam will plays Rayman Legends, so he plays that.
That can be on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, they can
so
be on the Switch too.
I think it can be on others.
Yeah, it can be, but that's what he plays on there. Then on Switch, right now he's been playing Luigi's Mansion
3.
3. Gotta get it right. Caleb has been playing FIFA 20 and Madden 20. So, or Madden 19.
They don't have in comparison to a lot of their friends and our friends' kids, they don't have a lot of games or consoles. I mean, most of them are really old. We did finally get them a Switch. But the Switch is really great because it travels well, and the two of them can play each other. And
though they lost the kickstand on the back.
Well, we can kind of
figure something out.
rig one of those.
But that's one of those things is because that one is really good for road trips and stuff like that because you can just plug it into the back of the car and do that. So other things. So Maria, I hope that helps, and Connor, I hope you're doing good, buddy. Mop, don't stop. So Jocelyn's answer to anything is always vacuum. Well, let's see if we missed any other people.
I feel like it's
Mahogany's family friendly. Grandparents are from Italy, one of the few places we haven't been to yet. 100% positive. I'll cry when we finally get there after this virus is dealt with. I'm not crying, you're crying. You will. I mean, and that's okay. I mean, I've gone to places where it feels like I remember when I went to Aberdeen the first time, we have family from there, and I'm like, I feel that I've been here before. I feel my family's been here because I've seen the pictures and the paintings from there that my family was there. It was amazing to see so my great grumpity grump, he was a captain.
What's a grump?
It's a way of saying like somebody like grandparent.
When you have a lot of greats in front of grandparents.
It's a fun way to say it. So he would paint scenes from different battles, like Battle of Waterloo and stuff like that. His paintings actually in the National Gallery in London, the Portrait Gallery, or not the National Gallery. But we have some. My parents have some too, and I'm like seeing like these castles in Heidelberg. I'm like, hey, I've been there. And then Aberdeen at King's College, and you see like the towers there. And it's like it's seeing those things again. It's like wow. And so if you get a chance to go back where your family's from, especially if you have any stories from like. And the thing is you might not see anything your mom or your grandma or somebody talked about, and then you go to a restaurant and then you'll have that food that's like your grandma made, and you'll cry. So don't worry about it.
Celestin, I haven't checked out Innova yet. I will do it. It's just right now.
It's Innova, not Innova.
Huh?
It's with an M.
Oh, Imova. IMOOVA.
That might be why.
Sorry. So, but we're doing so much to replan things and rebook things.
Yeah, and
that I'm a little behind on things.
Yeah. So,
yes, my shopper's there.
Awesome. Well, I'll answer a question if I do that. Oh, Sherry W. Hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you forever. Good morning. I've loved you all since I found your video on Vicenza when I was moving there 5 years ago. My question, how do I get home to my husband in Germany as I'm stuck in Minnesota? You're not going to be able to get back to him. I mean, if he's stationed there, then he needs to talk to people about maybe trying to get you over there. But because right now, the EU is not letting foreigners in. And so you're not going to be able to go out. They're not even going to let you on a plane to get to them unless you have a German passport to get there. But you moved to Italy. I mean, it sucks. I would talk to the State Department. If you're a U.S. citizen, I would talk to the State Department and see what they can do. But right now, my heart goes out to you because there's not much that can be done right now. Sorry. And this is the thing is, Sherry's not the only person that's separated from their family and they can't get back to them. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do very few trips like without the family in case we get stuck places. You know, it's like, I mean, I know there's been times I got stuck a few extra days and I'm like, I mean, whenever I travel by myself, Jocelyn knows that she's going to get a phone call from like the first airport, me going, I don't know if I made the right choice. I miss you guys already, you know, and then the first couple of days I'm gone. I'm researching, filming the B-roll, getting my notes down, and then it's like when I settle down in that town, I'm like, okay, and then I start to miss. I'm like, this would be great with the kids and stuff like that. It really breaks your heart. So Sherry, I'm shedding a tear for you and your husband. Just know our heart's out there for you. I'm sorry. Marcus, hey guys, love the videos. You've inspired me to finally travel to Japan. Unfortunately, my plans are up in the hold until COVID-19 is over. I'm glad we can inspire you to travel. Don't worry, Japan will still be there when this is over. You can go enjoy it when you do go there. It's really nice. Jesse, I speak like where I would feel comfortable teaching a class. I need a little practice to like get warmed up again, but English, German, Spanish, Portuguese, I would feel comfortable teaching in those. Like I can have like a decent intermediate conversation in Italian. I could be a good tourist in French. And then I remember I can go drinking in Lithuanian. So, you know, the important stuff. Morning, Dan Reeve. Dan Reeve, hey, buddy. Good to see you on here. Let's see. So Scorpiosu 1102, how about a video of all the artwork you've gotten over the years? Yeah, a lot of people have asked about that. I'm sure we'll probably put one of those out here. I know that would be a very long video with all the artwork. We could just do the ones that are up here. Whoops, sorry. Up there. Oh, and now my computer's like, don't do that. So we have that, but then also have like a mass collection from different places. So that is something we can look at for a future videos for sure. Yeah. So Jennifer Benzie, how many of the 197 countries in the world have you been to in total? Is that ever a driving force in choosing a place? So I've been to about 70 places. Caleb, Justin, I think it's like in the mid 50s. Caleb got to 50 when we went to El Salvador. Liam, how many are you on? 45?
Yep.
45. Liam's at 45. It's not a driving force behind us because I thought about that for a bit, and I remember I had students of mine a few years ago. There was a person who, this lady, she'd gone to all the countries. She's the youngest person. She was like 19, went to every country in the world. And my students, and then there was another person that went to like all the countries in the world in like 18 months or something like that. And then my students, because they're accounting students, they're like, Mark, we did the numbers, and it was like she couldn't have spent more than like a day and a half or 2 days in every country. Like it's like 2 days. They're like would she have actually learned anything about the culture? I'm like, no, she did not go to learn about the culture. She went to go see other countries, and I'm cool with that. You know, I know there's like Karen Nader and other YouTubers, and their whole thing is like, we want to go to 100 countries, and that's our goal. And that's fine. If your goal is going to 100 countries, then go to 100 countries and see them all. That's totally cool. But for us, we like to go experience cultures. Like we go back to places. Like we go to Vicenza, Italy all the time. We go back to Paris because, you know what, we have friends and family there. We're going to go see those. And so we really focus on those things. And I think that's why our videos have a lot more heart and have a lot more like really helpful information for people traveling, because we didn't go through for 2 days and make a travel blog. We're talking to the locals. We're doing research forever about it. We're going back to these places to get more stuff. So I can start with the love and hates and realize I can do a shocks and a don'ts and a mistakes, because there's so much information you learn the more time you spend in places. So we do that. Will we eventually get to all 197? Probably. If everything goes the way the world hopefully can go. So there is that. Mahogany, I'm sorry you had the coronavirus. Just remember, you got to keep calm. Make sure you do what your doctor tells you. Rest up. Do all those things on there. There's more information on there. Most people survive. It's 98% survival rate. You know, a lot of people have just light things. So I wish you well, my friend. Prayers for you, and hopefully your family's okay too. Let's see. Okay, so Sahil makes a good point. Sahil points out, those considering travel to places like Dubai, avoid coming during Ramadan. Ramadan always falls on really hot and humid months, and you're not allowed to eat or drink outside till after dark. And that's one of the things for anywhere you want to go. You want to look at what festivals are going on, because it can really influence like what's available, but also when you can go out, what you can do. Because, for example, if you try to go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras or around Mardi Gras, the prices are insane. It's hard to find accommodation, and you're just packed full of people. And it's better. I mean, we've gone sometimes like 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after. Nobody's there. Like, it's really nice. You can really get a lot of the stuff that way. So, good point, Sahil. Thanks. Let's see. Oh. Scott, oh wait, we're stuck. Oh, Baggy T. Okay, so all I see is Baggy T's thing just popped up, and everybody else's stuff disappeared. So Baggy T, thank you very much for the super chat. I came across your channel and looking for tips on Berlin, so thanks for the tips over the last year. I've used them greatly. I hope your trips videos and live feeds will still be here after this is all over. Yes, we will keep doing these live feeds. I know we're still going to be doing the Saturday and Wednesday through April. And if the quarantines keep going, we'll probably be doing some in May as well. And I think even if they start laying them off, I think we're going to be doing more live feeds. Because back in the day, we used to do about one live feed a month. And then we do one live feed for everybody. Then we do one live feed for our patrons and members. Now we're doing 2 a week for everybody. And then we're doing one every other week for our patrons. So if you're a patron or a member, you can click join to find out how, or go to patreon.com/WaltersWorld to find out how. We're actually having our Patreon only and member only chat where it's like this, but there's a lot fewer people on there, and we really focus longer on specific questions. And that's actually going to be on Sunday at 3 o'clock. So we'll have that. But I'm really glad that our Berlin tips can help you, and the other ones are. And I have, so when we travel, I film tons of videos And a lot of times I haven't got a chance to actually get them out. So you're going to see a What to Eat in Argentina video coming out at noon today. It'll be premiered, so you can chat along with me as it comes out, where I go through a lot of the fantastic food that's down there. And so I have these older videos, and some aren't that old. Some I still have videos from El Salvador. We were there last month, or in February and stuff. So we have plenty of videos. Even if we can't travel for 6 months, we have enough videos that we can still put out 2 or 3 videos a week, no problem. So we'll be putting out things there, but we'll still do the live feeds and all kinds of stuff. So we want people to have like normal content, because I'm starting to see that like everything is virus related, and so it makes people more depressed and more freaked out about these things. And sometimes we just need to tune out and we just want something else. That's one of the things is now that there's no movies anymore, you're like, I don't even have the movie to go away and escape. And so we think that our videos can really help people kind of escape some of these things. So that's why we did have like 2 or 3 weeks where we were like, look, we're only doing like travel bans and live feeds and stuff like that. And now, no, since last week, we put out, what to know before you go to the U.S., which no one's going to the U.S. right now. But you know what? People can remember the beauty of the U.S. We did a don'ts of quarantine, so we'll do some fun stuff. Today, you're going to have the food of Argentina. Tomorrow, we might have a shocks or a don'ts out there at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So we're going to be doing stuff to give people some I don't know, normality in this not very normal times. So there is that. Sarah Potter asks, what's your dream road trip in the U.S.? So for Jocelyn, it'll be going out on the West Coast, or turn Western U.S. and the Southwest where she went as a kid. Like this summer, if we can travel domestically in the U.S., because we've done multiple family road trips to the Southeast and the Northeast. So I think what we might do is kind of like go from Illinois and do like a big circle, like go up through the Dakotas into Montana and come around and come down, California, then come back through Arizona, Nevada, stuff like that, come down that way and come back. So do some of those things there, because we've done all these trips in Europe and stuff like that. And I really like doing the U.S. videos. And though the U.S. videos, some do well, but most of them are like, it's not as exciting for a lot of people to watch a video on, what the don'ts of Alabama, which I filmed actually in January, which we'll have out probably here in the next couple weeks. But it's like, it's fun to that, because the people that are there, people like to watch videos about the places where they're from. And so we're going to be doing some more of those things like that. So cool. Thank you. That was a long answer for that. So, and those of you wondering where Jocelyn is, she is, so the service that we're having where you can order your food, they're actually shopping for her now. And so she's texting some stuff because they're like, oh, they don't have this bread. Would you like this? So she's dealing with that. So it's probably better than her sitting there on her phone. But then, of course, you know what it's like being a professor where your students are on their phone all the time. So there is that. Oh, wait, jumped around. Oh, darn it. Sorry. Okay, so Goki Go. I've never been to the Western countries. Would Iceland and Norway be good first choices to visit? Yes, they would. Tons of English, open to foreigners, know the tourists come. The drawback is they're both extremely pricey, expensive. But what's nice is after you go there, everywhere else you go in Europe and the West will seem cheap in comparison. So if you can think of it that way. Let's see. So Ikan Wojtek, my buddy from Poland. Yeah, have any government tourism departments sponsored your trips to certain countries? So we've been reached out to by places in China and stuff like that. And whenever anybody reaches out to us, I say, look, we do the good and the bad. We say the don'ts. So I don't want you to think we're going to make you a commercial. We're going to give the honest opinion, because that's what gets people to go. And most of the time they're like, no, you must parrot exactly what we say. If you ever look, I get upset with a lot of my travel vlogger comrades because they don't put in that their trip is sponsored, or it's only in passing. But you can tell when you read their blogs, you watch their videos, that they're like, this is the greatest place in Mexico. You should totally come here. They're fantastic. They're wonderful. And I'm like, I've been there. That is not the best place in Mexico. Not even close. Why are you saying that? It's like, oh, they got paid to go there. And so that's one thing I don't really like. So we haven't really done any sponsored trips. I was down in Memphis for a conference, and the tourism board there gave us tickets to go places. That was nice. We've had that, but they're like, no, you do what you want to do. This is Memphis. We want the truth. And so that's why I really appreciated that. And that's why a lot of the travel bloggers make way more money on sponsorships than they do off the ads on their YouTube channels. That's why you'll see like some channels seem like they're more selling out and more focused on making sure you know who their sponsor is than they are about helping their audience. And I'm lucky. We're lucky because I have a day job, and so Walter's World can be focused on just helping travelers, not just paying my bills. And so I don't blame them, those vloggers and bloggers, for that, because they got to pay their bills. They got their they got mouths to feed, but we don't really do that. If people would want to do that, we're okay if they're okay with being honest. Like that's why we would be sponsored by companies that were things we use. Like we use Manfrotto tripods. We use Delta Airlines, and a lot of people know that. Like some people are like, wait, you're not sponsored by Delta? No, but we'd love to be sponsored by them.
I would be okay with that. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot of
sponsoring. There's no sponsoring now, but that's one of those things. Like, because I know once traveling starts opening up again, we're going to travel a lot to let people know it's okay and to help people get back on their feet and kind of stuff like that. Because some people are going out, because I know a lot of travel bloggers are going to go out just to go travel again, which we all want to do, but that's their way of living. We want to do this to help people. It's like why we're doing these live feeds all the time. Yes, we'd all rather be in bed right now, but I want to be here talking with people, having this socialization.
I don't need to be in bed right now.
Oh, not even with me. Especially not with you, Mark. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, at this time of some day on a Saturday, Liam's probably in the bed watching, Dragons Race to the Edge on Netflix. Anyway, let's get back to questions now that Jocelyn's back. Nilo, I'm glad you like the live stream. How do you maintain fluency in so many languages? Any tips? So actually, I have a video.
I don't know. Tell me.
It is tough. So actually, I'll actually sometimes talk to myself in foreign languages just to get my.
You should hear him in the shower, y'all.
Yeah, just to keep it up, especially if I know I'm going to be going someplace relatively soon. So I was working on my German.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's like you talk to me. I'm like 9. Nein,
so
ich habe nicht mit dir gesprochen. Meine Güte. No, so there's that. But one thing I say is the best ways to learn languages. So a lot of people are like learning languages now with Duolingo and all these other things. And my buddy learned German with Herr Antrim. He's doing gangbusters. I'm so happy for him because people are starting to learn that foreign language they wanted to learn. You want to do something like his, because his is more like, look, he's not going to teach you phrases. He's going to teach you the grammar so you can make your own sentences. Because you really want to learn.
That's the way to learn it.
Yeah, because if you want to learn a language, you don't memorize. How are you? I am good. Because all you can do is you're just a parrot. You want to make a conversation. You want to learn the grammar. What is I am? What is you are? And then you can create your own sentences and create your own conversations. And to keep that up, some things you can do is now everything's online in any language you want. So you can watch Simpsons or your favorite TV show in a foreign language, or you can watch it in English with the foreign subtitles underneath. That can help you learn and keep it up. And there's these things called Tandem, and so you can actually go online and find people that just want to practice English and you want to practice your language. So you'll talk for like an hour, like a half hours in English, half hours in French. So there are things like that to help.
Will Evans asks, do you reckon it will be safe to go to New England in mid-June? Would COVID-19 be gone by then? Here's what I want to say. One, no one knows the answer to that.
As Terry said. Thanks, Terry.
Yes, thank you, Terry. But two, I don't think COVID-19 is going away. I think that we all need to pray real darn hard that scientists find something to quell it.
Treatments,
whatever that mitigate the problems, or beforehand or after you get it, whatever we need. I think that's what we have to pray for. Not that it just. I don't think it's going to go away.
Yeah. So gallivanting gals, we have talked about doing live streams, but not sure we have a big enough subscriber base yet. You know what? When we first started our first live streams, there was only like 6 or 7 people on there. We got to talk. It was great. Like you get a chance to really meet people and talk to them, and you don't have to have like ours go like we're on an hour and a half already. We'll probably go for another hour, and our old ones we used to only go for 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes, and that's okay. Just have a little bit of chat and stuff like that. What I would recommend if you do that, what are some of the most common questions you get from people so that you can answer those first? So it gives people oh, okay, here's the questions so they might watch again. So later, when you have another live feed, you let them know. But let your audience know that you're going to be doing a live feed, when you're going to be doing a live feed, because they can kind of plan for that and just try it out and see. I think you'll do great.
You don't have to have a big audience,
Yeah.
I mean, you can have just a few people. And by the way, all these people that are on here talking, Gallivant and Gals, are considering doing a live stream. So maybe you guys should hop on there too.
Yeah, check out their channel. Talk to them. Means to Travel. They had a live stream this week. You can talk to them.
They have one on Thursdays and Sunday.
Thursday and Sunday?
I think that's right. I know for sure Thursday, and I'm kind of guessing on the Sunday.
Yeah. So Means to Travel, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for prepping for a longer road trip? So longer road trip, I'm going to make it a month or less. First thing you really need to do, 2 things with your mail. One, hold your mail for the month. If you don't trust your mail person, still hold it. But also sign up for there's a thing, I have it for our mail, where you get a scan of every mail that's coming to you, so you know what's coming. So there's that. Because unless you have a neighbor that really loves you and is going to get your mail every day, make sure you're holding those things.
But it only holds, USPS only holds for a month, 4 weeks. So if you're going to be gone longer than that, you need to make other arrangements, or have somebody pick that up and then reboot it for another month.
Yeah. So when we do our big trips, like I will, it depends. Like if it's going to be like 6 weeks, I'll actually have our neighbors or our friends will pick it up for like the first 10 days. And then I have the rest of it being held. So they just kind of don't have to worry about it. But if it's like, sometimes we've gone for 8 weeks, it's like, I will have it held for the first bunch. And then I'll like make sure someone's there. Then I'll deliver it, hold like for another week, let it pick it up, and then I'll hold it again for the last part of it.
But probably in that, usually the person that we have doing that is whoever is house sitting for us.
Yeah.
I mean, but we have a house sitter, or so
yeah,
not everybody has that. We always have somebody.
Yeah. That's true, because even when we have our house sitters, I'll still hold the mail just to like not bother them. I'll be like, Caleb, I was like, Caleb, so you're gonna have a big thing of mail coming on Monday, so make sure you grab that, and I'll like remind them, remind them to get that. So. But then
like we did that with Jamie, and we did that with Heidi. Like all the people who have house sat for us, we've done that same thing.
Yeah. So that's the mail side of it. Now, in terms of longer term road trips, one thing before you go, I would get your car cleaned out, like straight up clean, because it's going to be disgusting when you're done with your road trip. So start off with it nice. Make sure you get your oil changed, get new good wiper blades. That's one thing you never think about is good wiper blades. Just go buy your own. Do not trust the company or the things, because they'll put like the dealership kind. They suck. Go spend the money and get some good wiper blades on there, because that's the last thing you want.
Get AAA.
Yeah, get AAA, because they will come, and if there's an issue, they'll come get you and get you to where you need to go.
Also look, because like Ford roadside assistance came with our car, and we don't have to use our AAA for that. We can, but both of them are free. So sometimes one might be closer than the other, and that is helpful. Yeah. Or one might be faster than the other.
Another thing is with your road trips, if you know you're going to be going around, have a rough idea where you're going to go, but have some kind of leeway, because you might find a place you want to stay longer. So if you're just like getting hotels as you go, then you're kind of that way. But if you're going to like have a hard set, we're here, then we're here, then we're here. Like have an idea. Like don't try to do like 7 hours a day every day. Like if you're going to have like, let's say you're going out to the West Coast, you're up in Chicago, and you want to like your main focus is the West Coast U.S. You're gonna like I would have that first day, just make it a long crappy drive day, and then try to break up into shorter stuff. What we do with the kids when we would do those is like we get up, and we wouldn't necessarily get up crack of dawn to go. We get up, have breakfast, and drive for like a 4-hour thing, and we plan so we have after 4 hours in there, we'd have like a stop in some town where we could have lunch, and the kids could do stuff, and maybe
get
something
out
to see
and
there.
Eat lunch. That's a helpful thing.
Yeah, like not just eating in the car. We do that occasionally, but like occasionally you need to go to the Cracker Barrels. And not just getting the drive-through Culver's and McDonald's. Yep. So, Mr. Real American Values, been a long-time watcher. Thank you. Plan on becoming a patron. Subscriber, $2 a month is very reasonable for me. Thank you. Yay. We appreciate that. That is so nice of us. We really do appreciate it. And with that Patreon thing, you get the live feeds. You get to vote on videos and stuff like that. Like so, the video, the What's Eat on Argentina, our members actually voted on that one. So you have that. So sometimes we'll be members, sometimes we'll be patrons. So we do all kinds of stuff with them.
And tomorrow we're having at
3 p.m. Chicago time, Central Standard Time. We'll have another live feed just for our patrons and members.
So when you join up, it's a much smaller thing. So we just sit and it's a talk thing. Yeah. And many of these people you see on here that have colored names, like that are green or yellow or whatever, or blue maybe.
They'll be on there too.
They'll be on there, and they will sit and talk to each other even more. Like it's like
sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't even need to our talking is holding back their friendship. So,
train travel and wait.
No, I got no. Okay. First, I'm gonna say hi to Fabio. Hope you're doing well. Then Nader one is the hardest visa you applied for. So, and it just jumped again. So those other questions are gone. Hardest visa when I was doing Belarus. This is back in the early 2000s. It was basically, it got to the point where my friend is like, look, leave your passport and $100 on your desk. It will be there later today. Okay. Creepy. So I left them that there and like came back. Here's your passport. Like there's no questions, nothing. Like, okay. So yeah, that's why sometimes visas are easier if you just go through a visa service to do it, because sometimes the hoops they make you jump through, like I know, like Russia, you have to have a letter from people. In China, you have to have a letter. But if you had a hotel, blah blah blah, sometimes you just use those visa companies. They're worth paying them to do it is well worth your time and effort and the like hassle of it all to kind of skip through there. Don't worry, I washed my hands, my eyes. Hold on, I don't want people to see me touching my eyes. Answer some questions.
No, it grosses me out, right? All right. Yeah, I do. Gallivanting girls, yes, I agree. I think that road trips will be a popular thing this year, especially through the U.S. And Heather has subscribed to both Gallivanting Gals and Means to Travel.
Awesome.
Yay. I wanted to go back and find those ones that flew by.
Bosch wiper blades are good.
All right.
Julius Caesar, favorite meal you ever had? Anything my wife cooks for me. And then there's Big Lucarna. That's a big fat pasta noodle with duck ragu sauce.
I don't know that I can answer that.
I know what you're looking at.
Rwandan food is excellent. I mean, they're just
Rwandan food's
so
fantastic.
many places. Peruvian food, Greek food, Italian food,
So
French
when
food.
people were talking about like the jaw-dropping wow moments, it's like when I had food in Rwanda, I'm like, wow, that was amazing. Like I was not expecting this. So Mohammed asks, any British people in this stream, or is it mostly Americans? It's mostly Americans, but there are some Brits out there. Don't you worry, Mohammed. We love our friends across the pond. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the UK. Just thinking about you. See, Jimmy UK. There you go. He's British. Lincolnshire represent. I like it, Mr. Blonde. See, Mohammed. There you got some countrymen there. Other things. Oh, sorry.
Oh, there it went.
Thank Leticia. Nice comment. How many years has this stream been running for? So we started the Waltz World channel. I started, it'll be 11 years ago this month. But at first it was just like little videos and stuff like that. And then I really didn't take it super serious until about 2012. I started to be a little more serious with it. And then it really started doing stuff like 2014, 15, started taking off. And then like 16, 17, 18, 19 were fantastic. This year was actually January this year was 30% more than we'd ever had in a January before. The beginning of February was making to be the biggest February we ever had. So we were like growing gangbusters to even bigger. We're so excited. It's helping more people travel.
We were going to hit 1 million subscribers
this year.
We were on track
for that. And then once the COVID hit, the entire channel is completely collapsed. So we're at like
80%,
down 80%.
Down 80%.
We're at 20% of what we usually like in viewership, and actually the last 2 weeks is like that. So it's like, but the thing is no, I mean, we see other travel channels that are still doing pretty good with their views, but they're more like showing their adventures and stuff. So people are kind of living vicariously through them. Whereas I think our videos are more tailored for people that want to go travel and you want to know what to do. We help you prepare to travel. So nobody is preparing to travel right now at all. Even me. Like I'm usually like thinking about trips. I'm like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would check my Delta app like daily and just like think about possible trips and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think I've opened my Delta app at all. I
looked at it. I looked at it and I almost cried. So I didn't play with my Delta app anymore, and that was the end of that.
So because even travelers like us are like not even thinking about traveling. So
you know what I think would be a cool thing to do? We have B-roll from all over the place. We should just put together some B-roll and maybe some outtakes.
Well, and here
we have some, especially with you.
Well, here's the thing: is like our B-roll from probably before 2018 before was mostly pictures. And we only started doing the videos for the B-roll like 2019. So I'm trying to find all this stuff. 19.
No.
Yes.
Shut the front door.
Trying to find food videos for this trip thing yesterday? No, we haven't done much.
Food videos maybe, but like just walking around town.
No, because you yell at me for like put the camera down, blah blah blah.
Because I don't want to look like one of those people.
That's why I only do my little 10-second things. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway,
I don't want to be on influencers in the wild.
Yeah, no, exactly.
If you all want like some serious entertainment, that is
influence in the wild on Instagram is basically people are videoing Instagrammers trying to get those perfect pictures in totally unrealistic situations. There's a reason why people don't like influencers, but they do work because when people see stuff online, they're like, oh, they're more likely to buy it. But I have a feeling that the influencer market is going to get completely destroyed because of this, because all these companies are losing on this business. Think about it, it's restaurants and the food bloggers and food Instagrammers and the travel stuff. It's all dried up because no one's traveling. They don't have the money to pay these people. So I'm going to guess there's going to be a lot of YouTube channels, there's a lot of travel influencers and food influencers and influencers in general that are going to collapse in. Now, some are going to do great. Some are doing great. But a lot of them are going to have some tough times. I mean, if I compare from what we're going through.
Don't buy cheap chairs. They sink.
Yeah. These chairs are what? We got these, 5 years ago?
Yeah, and they were cheap.
Yeah, they were cheap. But, you get what you can afford.
Cheap.
Hey, Carmen! Good to see you. Carmen Monzer's on. Nice.
Hey, Carmen.
I like Rebecca's Walter's World, the True Hollywood Story. Oh, good times, good times.
Off the Beaten Path Adventures and Travel. Hello.
Some of the travel channels are still traveling, especially the food ones. So here's the thing. There are some travel channels that are still putting stuff out. Like we still have travel things out, but it's from older videos. If anyone's out there telling people to travel now, that's not really a nice thing. I'm going to guess most of them are using like older content and stuff like that. And the longer this goes, you'll see a lot more different kind of content from people. So... yeah,
sorry, I have to keep texting because my shopper is shopping right now, and like there are a lot of things that are out, like normal things that we buy, like green beans,
and chocolate chips.
And well, I did get some chocolate chips because Liam's birthday is later this month, and he wants to make chocolate chip cookies before his
brown
birthday.
Sugar. Anyway, so Marie McKenna says, nothing can kill my obsession with watching travel videos. Thank you very much. There are still people that are watching, and we appreciate it. And I think the biggest dip in the views, I think, is kind of past. Is this first like onslaught, and we're all like focused on the virus. And I think over time people start to go back to their usual habits. So if you're used to watching travel videos, you'll want to watch travel videos again, and so those things will come. So that's another one of those reasons why we're still putting our videos out, because we know that we all need something to take our mind off it. So if it can be what kind of steak to have in Argentina, we can help, and other people can help. So we're all trying to do our parts. That's cool. Means to travel. Lots of brands have pulled their ad budgets right now too, including influencer marketing budgets. Oh yeah. Like I've seen some interviews with influencers that like all their sponsors are gone. They're getting nothing on their post. I'm like, yeah. And that's what it's tough,
and
because
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
If that's your income, that's a huge
because
thing.
I know there was a time we were considering making Walter's World our full-time job, and doing that full-time, and I'm glad we didn't, because who knows because we probably would branch out in other things, but like it's scary, and that's why I feel for these influencers and other travel YouTubers and stuff and things, that because I mean their whole livelihood is gone. And it's not just them, but there's think about all the businesses that are going on with all the people that have lost their jobs. It's a horrible time. And so it's tough. Let's see.
Patty, you've asked this question 10
Mexico
times.
or Thailand? Why you never go to
She
Thailand?
asks this every time. We have not been to Thailand because we were going, and there was a wedding that year that came up, so we had to go to the wedding. We will go to Thailand eventually, but when we have enough time to go, our children when we have a long period of time, our children...
It's rainy season.
When our children are out of school, it's the rainy season. So we don't know.
Yeah.
We want to go.
We will get there, don't you worry. We're not holding
It'll
on.
happen.
We have nothing against Thailand. We definitely want to go. I have about 6 books. I can go get the books and show you what we've all got, because we were prepping for it. And then we get a phone call. I mean, seriously. We were booking the tickets like on Monday, and on Sunday we got a call. Mark, we're getting married. I'm like, great, when? He's like, July. I'm like,
no.
Well,
we're not going to Thailand.
We're not going to Thailand.
It was Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia.
Yeah. I was hoping to get Hong Kong or Singapore in there too. So there's that. But in terms of Mexico or Thailand, you can't go wrong with either one. Probably if you're going for more exoticness, I'd probably go Thailand. But I love Mexico. My dad worked there for a long time. I love the people. So let's see. What do you guys do as people nowadays stuck in their homes? So we spend half our day fighting with our kids to do their homework.
Get your work done.
Get your work done.
Get
down
homework.
here
What can I
and do
help
your
you
homework.
with?
What do you know?
Can we read this together? Let's do your work.
No, do your homework. You can't go outside and play basketball.
Stop
Fine,
fighting
I will
your
come
brother.
play
You
basketball.
No wrestling.
Yeah.
Just go back to their homework, blah, blah, like all day long. I bet we spend at least an hour a day each saying, go do your homework.
Yeah. So that takes up most of our Monday through Friday. That's why today's nice. We get to talk to you, and they get to play video games or
and then
sleep.
You're working on your stuff.
We have a new member.
Oh, we have a new member?
Yes.
Wow.
Hold on. Wait. I saw a green button.
A green button.
Oh,
pop up.
Catherine Fertile. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Independent Traveler. Thank you very much, Catherine. Fantastic name, by the way.
You get to, that's his mother's name.
I know. Come join us at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Central Time. We'll have a live feed for our members and patrons. Cool. Awesome. Let's see.
You are welcome for the Saturday morning lives.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for
Sarah.
that. So Jabbard writes, Walter, do you think your future travel to Europe will be more difficult? In the short term, travel to Europe will be extremely difficult. Longer term, so when Europeans come to the U.S., we have this ESTA kind of visa. They just have to go online and sign up, tell them they're going to come, give some information. Europe is going to have one of those, and it's supposed to start, I think, next year. I'm going to imagine that might get pushed back a bit. Just like in the U.S., we were supposed to go to the special driver's license for flying IDs on this October, and now they push it back until September 2021 because they're like, no, people, because right now you can't even get a passport and you can't go get your driver's license really, and so you have all this kind of stuff, so they just kind of pushed it back. And I'm going to guess something like that, because if you put a hurdle in front of someone to travel, that hurdle's gonna stop people. And so when you put a visa out there, there's a reason why Brazil stopped having visas, because like, look, we want to give people we don't want anything to stop them to come and be a tourist in Brazil, because it really does stop a lot of people going there. Because once you say you got to get a visa, you're like, forget it, we're gonna go someplace else.
Because people think a visa is a massive hassle, and some visas really are, some are not. Yeah,
China, Russia, they are, and then some aren't. Like we technically got a visa for Tanzania, but you just show up and give them $100 cash, and then. They give the visa right then. You go in. But just the word visa scares people off, so I'm going to guess.
Canada was the same way.
Yeah. And so what I'm going to guess is what you'll end up having is people will. I would imagine they might push it back. Of course, it's the European Union. Who knows what they're going to do? But I would imagine they might push that back at least a year, because if you want to get the U.S. tourists coming and you're putting another hurdle up there, and most of them are going to probably stay in the U.S. for being close, so you got to make sure it's an enticing thing to go, not putting up more barriers. And so I think you might see some of those things, but it's going to be tough. Let's see. Okay, so Scott X-rated. Airfare is cheap. Would it be a bad idea to book travel to Caribbean in mid-June? Man, it might be cheap, but you might not be going on that. So make sure you get your money back, or you can push it back to another time. Because that's why a lot of airlines you can book, and then we can always push it back. And some of us tell them Delta has until 2022 now. So you can look at those things. It's scary. It's really scary out there. Thank you, Mohammed. Bye. Bye, Mohammed. But you could, June, man, I don't know. I honestly, no one knows. No one knows. What I always tell people is, you see a flight that's so cheap that you don't mind if you lose your money. If it's that cheap, then book it. Maybe you can switch it to later. So there are those things. Gallivanting Gals, you're a patron. You're on Patreon, so so you don't get a little thing on YouTube. Your thing's on Patreon, but I sent out the link to our patrons, so you'll look on the Patreon feed for patrons, and the link will be there, and you just click on that, and you can watch from there. So they have it set up so we can have the members that are on here on YouTube and the patrons on Patreon to go through there. So there's just things like that. So Nader, don't worry, ladies. We'll get you on there.
And Nader says, advice you have for keeping the family happy through this. There are several things, but first, give each other space. And that doesn't always mean physical space. Sometimes it means just shut your mouth and just let people have you. Like, if they're wrong, don't point it out. Just be quiet. And Caleb and I are having this issue. We're having a hard time just shutting our mouths with each other. But so that's part of it, just giving each other space, being supportive, because you know what? Sometimes one of you will just have a really bad day, and you may be cranky and loud and angry, but you may be really sad. Just be supportive of the other person. And for us, going out and taking walks and getting a little bit of physical exercise, like moving, is really important. Get those endorphins going. Those kinds of things are a big thing to. And sometimes just to have that time just to yourself to go for a walk and just think on your own. Mm-hmm. That can help too. Treat one another with grace. you know what? We're all in this. One of my girlfriends and I, she's in Brazil, and she was saying, everyone keeps saying we're all in the same boat. She goes, I don't think it's the same boat. Some people have a yacht and other people have canoes. And I said, some of us are just there with a bucket bailing water out. We're all in the same ocean, and
yes,
it's a mess right now. So be graceful to one another and give each other love and compassion. Compassion's a big part of it.
Yeah. So, S. Danielson, thank you for becoming a helpful traveler. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the club.
And we can talk more about Sweden and Finland tomorrow at 3 p.m. So that 3 p.m., it's 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's Chicago time. It'll be 3 p.m. on Sunday. We'll be doing that. So thank you for pointing that out, Pamela. So there is that. Let's see. So Kansas Girl Abroad. I was accepted to a master's program in Poland this fall. Right now, I'm unsure if I'll even be able to go. Yeah, it's a big if right now. What's going on? My advice is make sure you make priorities to your study abroad office or that universities are going to come in, so you don't get lost. Their stuff doesn't get lost in your spam folders. Because I know with some international programs, for me, it'll go into my spam folders at work. So be careful with that. Just keep abreast of what's going on. Most likely they'll contact you because they want you to come because you're paying tuition, so they're going to figure out a way. I know I work at the University of Illinois, and they've already told us, look, the visas for the Chinese students to come back, you can't even get an appointment until November. So there's students that won't even be able to get to come back. So they're looking at doing all online stuff. So you might be doing a Polish master's from the comfort of your home. So there's that. Oh, another member.
Sherry went to Salzburg for Christmas and Vienna for New Year's. I say
nice.
that's
a
wonderful.
Perfect combination.
Salzburg is lovely at Christmas. Absolutely love that.
Oh, Darian.
Thanks,
welcome buddy.
To the independent traveler. Thank you.
Germany is the biggest fan of spaghetti ice you'll ever meet, and now Liam is taking after his buddy Darian, the German travel personal guide.
So if y'all don't know Darian, you can follow him on YouTube and Instagram. But he has been a longtime fan of our channel. He
came and saw us. We were in Tampa at the airport, and he found us there.
He met us there, and it was so much fun. He and his son, and we
he's on there on. You actually see him. He's in last year's the 2019 12 Days of Christmas.
Yep.
When it's the Three Great Friends. Yeah, the Three Great Friends. So you'll see him and his son.
Very cool.
Oh, another member. Oh my goodness, Purdue. Welcome to being a Pitiful Traveler. I was just over in West Lafayette.
I want to know if that's Purdue the university or Purdue the chicken, or is that spelled differently? Is that P-E-R?
I have no idea.
Well, welcome to the club.
I bet Purdue knows. I bet you Purdue knows. Let's see. Okay, Thomas Hughes asks, is it too soon to contact airlines about July flights to see if they may rebook or give a voucher? Right now, they're probably going to tell you need to wait because that's too far off. I mean, you can call and wait or have them call you back. But right now, they're not going to say anything because all we have is guidance now through the end of April. And then once they get through April, then it'll be May, and then it'll be June. We have our flights in May, and I haven't done anything yet because I'm just waiting because I'm waiting till about the beginning of May because it's the middle of May we're supposed to fly. So beginning of May, I'll call them up and do that. So because they'll just tell you to wait. But you can see, I'm like, if you want to get a refund, you can call and see if you can get a refund. If they're like, no, we haven't decided anything yet, look at that. So Josh has a couple of questions.
So Jimmy UK, worrying Chicago crime levels put me off to travel there one day. So Jimmy, Chicago has some massive crime numbers, but I'm gonna say they're kind of
it's not the super tourist part where you're gonna go. You're not gonna have as many issues that way.
They're in specific areas of the city, and you probably won't encounter any of that anyway. Yeah. Sarah Potter says, can you tell us the bad experience in Switzerland again? I find Swiss people aren't that friendly. I'm living here for 2 years, doing my master's with my Swiss boyfriend, who is definitely not rude.
Oh, I'm glad you found one of the nice ones, Sarah.
Sarah,
I'll let you do that. I gotta get
the Swiss are not really warm and welcoming at first. They're the type of people generally it just takes time.
Long time.
It takes a long time.
Long time.
My family's half Swiss. It's not that they don't care or that they're not nice. It's just it takes a while for them to let people in. So the incident that we had in Switzerland, I took Caleb to, there's a Picasso museum. It's in Lucerne, yeah?
Yep.
And Caleb was obsessed with Picasso when he was about 6. And so we went and we walked. I wanted to go in, and the woman was hostile, to say the least, about letting us come in with a child. And I said, he'll be fine. He'll hold my hand. Don't worry. And she let us in with a huff, and she charged me adult fares for both of us. And every time we stopped in front of anything, well, first of all, somebody followed us around the entire time. It was like as if though we were known art thieves or something. They didn't let us out of their sight. And anytime we stopped and he got close to look at something, and the kid, he knows art museums. He's been in more art museums than most adults. And he would hold his hands.
That was his favorite.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing, but he would hold his hands and look like this so that he wouldn't be trying to touch anything. He knew to do that. And they would get like right up on us. And I'm like, my gosh, it was just terrible. Children are not welcome the way in Switzerland the way they are in like Southern Europe and things. There's not a lot of like children's meals at like even McDonald's. I think they did maybe have a Happy Meal, but that was like the only place. Yep, no high chairs. It's not equipped to do kid stuff. And that may be cultural. I don't know. Maybe people don't take their kids out in public a lot. There are places where people just don't do that, where things are different. So anyway,
well, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous.
And if you don't want
Absolutely
kids around,
lovely.
it's a great place to go.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun.
All right, stop bouncing. Dag nabbit. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of an issue here with this. Okay. Yeah, Kansas Girl Abroad, I'm confused. How do you become a member? I signed up on Patreon, but is this member stuff? The member stuff is YouTube based. The Patreon stuff, being a patron, is from Patreon, and it's fine either way. They're two different platforms, and we include you guys in things the same. So
We send you some things.
yeah, we send you guys stuff. You'll have there's like a discount at the something or another, right? On the if you get stuff at waltersworld.com, there's stuff, and we treat you equally whether you're patreon.com/waltersworld and find out. That's what Mark just said. But we just include them as the same thing. So all right. All right, let's see what I got. You guys are all talking to each other. This is pretty cool. Carmen's asking Germany travel personal guide. Where in Germany are most of your videos? I think that he's mostly in Bavaria. But if there's spaghetti ice around, that's where he'll be, right? All right. So, hello, Alexander. How many more years will this quarantine thing last? Gosh, let's hope it's not years, Banacos. It's we've been in quarantine for 3 weeks. I know it's different for everyone everywhere, but we've been staying home for 22 days now, and wowzer. I hope it's not forever. Look at all. Yes, Purdue is Boilermaker. There you go. I'm in Indy.
Nice people. I was
Not in West Lafayette. Very cool. All right.
okay.
All right, I don't know what's going on. The thing and I are having a fight a little bit.
Yeah, Dan said he had to cancel his trip to Vienna, Budapest in March. That's really nice, and that's a good combo too. They're about 2.5 hours apart. That's really nice. Dan, if you get to go back and reschedule, make a day trip over to Bratislava when you're in Vienna, or you can stay in Bratislava. It's a lot cheaper than Vienna, but there is that.
Bratislava is a cool town.
Yeah, it is. Alexander, hi. I guess you said hi to them already. Oh, I see. You went down and it got back. Okay, I see.
Something, it went back up, or I don't know.
Okay, so Kansas Girl Abroad was asking about this. Is you want me to clarify the Patreon?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kansas Girl Abroad. So yes, you are a member on Patreon, but so there's different membership things. You have the join button here on YouTube, which people can do, and then there's the Patreon thing, which is a whole different kind of thing. They both are giving monthly support to YouTube channels or creators and things like that. There's a lot of different things out there you can do. The Patreon one gives more options. So like we get your address and we can send you stuff like because there's different levels. So we'll send postcards or we'll send koozies and things like that. Like I just sent a bunch of stuff out yesterday. So if you become a member, if you become like one of the members since like before Friday or Thursday or earlier, we just sent out koozies and stickers and stuff like that. Actually, I've got to get more koozies because we run out. There's some things there because there's certain things we can do on Patreon that we can't do on YouTube's membership. And there's certain things we do on membership that we can't do on YouTube. So there's like restricted viewing. Like we can have videos that are only available for members, and Patreon has things that can only be on there. So it just depends what people like to do because some people don't want to give their money to YouTube because the thing is, for all of you that know, those super chats, if someone gives $20, we don't get $20. Google takes a part of that. It's like a tax on it because YouTube's like, hey, we helped this happen, so they take some of it. Patreon takes some of it too, but they take a smaller percentage of it because they give you the platform to do these things. So there is that. But Kansas Girl Abroad, on our Patreon feed, I will post the link to tomorrow's live feed because what happens is I'll start the live feed up and it gives me like a little link and then I'll send it over there. So you just kind of check on there on Patreon. You can click on it and watch it live that way, but also that link will then show up later if you want to rewatch the live feed on your own. So you have that. So I hope that helps. And it's because are you in what's that city called? Lee Summit, I think. Yeah.
My friend Natalie lives there.
Cool. Alexander, what's your favorite city in the U.S.? Jocelyn, it would be
Savannah.
And for me, it would be.
I'm writing to the guy.
I like going to New Orleans a lot. I'm a really big fan of New Orleans. But there's a lot of places I like to go. But New Orleans is kind of like my go-to for a lot of things. Mr. Storm says, Jocelyn, you're great.
Thank you.
There you go. Trying to make sure she has good manners. Let's see. So Eric Svara, which part of Austria do you live in? I studied abroad in Vienna at the Wirtschaftsuniversität Wien. And funny enough, I've actually taught back at the Wirtschaftsuniversität Wien in Vienna twice already. And I'm teaching there again this summer. And I was supposed to teach in Vienna, but now that everything's online, I'm actually teaching an online class on social media marketing to the Viennese students and U.S. students together. So that's interesting. And if you ever go to our Professor Walters channel, starting middle of April, so like in 2 weeks, you'll start seeing a bunch of social media marketing videos that are for those classes and other stuff. So we're going to have all kinds of different things. So nice. Oh, Stuart had to cancel a trip to Perpignan, France to watch the rugby league, but I go back. Good. I'm glad you go back, Stuart. That's a great region. You would have a great time and you get to see a match. That's one of those things that's nice. If you ever go travel and you can take in some event, whether it's a festival, whether it's a match or something like that, or a game, you get to see a whole different side of travel. Because when you travel as a tourist, you're seeing the sites, museums, town hall. But when you go to a sporting event, you're seeing the locals and stuff being locals and stuff like that. I mean, how can you explain tailgating at college football games to someone that hasn't been to it? It's a whole different experience.
On that note, hi Tom and Savannah. Kids, Savannahans are great tailgaters. Terry Finley, I'm sorry I did not bring enough for the whole class.
Did you bring
eating an egg?
She ordered some. She's like, they're all for me.
Reese's had, I don't know, I followed them on Instagram and they had something about the eggs, and I was like, hey, since there's like the quarantine, can we just extend the life of the eggs past Easter? And I ordered, this is terrible, this is how much I love this.
You should order like 10, not 3.
I ordered 3 6-packs of Reese's eggs today.
Because you need to have more, so then when I steal one, you don't notice as much. Wow, your stomach just growled at me. Anyway, CJ Cavey. Hey, how are you? CJ, hey Mark, do you use Blackboard at your school? Do you hate it as much as I do? I bet I hate it more than you do. Oh my God. So for those of you who don't know, Blackboard is an educational learning system. So it's an online platform for educators to put like grades up, and you can post exams and things like that. And so I actually ran an exam last week on that, a multiple choice exam, and it worked okay. Then I had to run an essay exam this week, and it's not going as well. It's just one of those really frustrating like technical things at work that you're like, wait, we're in the 21st century, but whenever I use Blackboard, I feel like I'm back in the 18th century because an actual Blackboard would have been way more helpful than the Blackboard computer system. So sorry, CJ, I feel your pain, my friend.
Marie McInnes, yes, we deliver to Sweden. And if you're talking about this stuff from our website, from Walter's World, it costs more. We can't.
So let me explain this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the shipping out, because inside the U.S. it's $5 flat rate shipping everywhere here. But then what we have for outside the U.S. is basically whatever the rate is. That's what like the UPS gives us. So we don't really have, it's kind of like we take what they give us. And their rates are like stupid high. So I actually get, I've actually gotten things from Shopify that hosts our page or our shop. And they're like, you're losing all these orders from here. Maybe adjust your shipping. And I'm like, I would love to adjust my shipping. I would love to make it cheaper. But if if it's like $20 to ship it, I still have to pay $20. And if people are buying, a shirt, I mean, then we're out. I mean, we cannot make the money. I wish I could do something to make it cheaper. Hopefully one day we can find, I'm actually looking at a way to maybe have like a secondary, like a limited run kind of stuff that will be basically shipped anywhere in the world that will be cheaper for that. So it wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be able to get like our quarter zips or our water bottles, but you could get like a t-shirt or something like that. So I'm working on that. That's actually on my list of stuff to do this week, to do something like there. But like the quarter zips, they do ship, and we're trying to, I mean, I feel so bad because the shipping, I'm like, is there anything we can do? And the guy's like, he's like, this is what they're giving me. There's nothing else. Like, because we don't make any money. There's the shipping and handling costs. We don't make any money on that. That's like literally like the shipping stuff. So I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, if you want to pay the shipping for it, they will ship there. Right now, the place where they make our stuff, it's not considered essential. So there's the only person that's doing anything is the owner who's going in and actually making these things.
He's literally making
everything himself. So
like if they're running t-shirts, because there are a couple of us and somebody else that are doing like some kind of fundraising t-shirt.
Yeah.
And he's literally running all the shirts by himself.
Yeah. So, and
Steven's
that's what
awesome too.
Yeah, Steven's awesome. You know, Campus Inc. Campus Inc. is what's
INK.
But we will have a shirt. A shirt for a donation shirt that's going to not donate to a cause coming out later this week, and so we'll have a video about that, and we'll talk about that on our next live feed, a couple live feeds to do those things. Okay, Mr. Storm, have your lectures been cut, Mark? No, my university moved all online, so I am doing all online classes. So if you go to Professor Walters on YouTube, you'll see my normal like 5 to 10 minute long videos like I do for Walters World. Excuse me, I'm doing that for my students. But also I'm doing live classes now. So at 2:00 on Tuesdays and 4:00 on Thursdays, Chicago time, I'm doing live lectures.
Oh, sorry.
She does this, like I want to, and then she just goes and moves all the stuff there.
You didn't give me a sign that you had something. I was trying to get that.
Okay, I thought you were pointing.
No, we just got a bunch of buttons popped up.
A bunch of new travelers. Thank you.
Did you finish that conversation?
Yeah, I guess so. Rude.
Eddie Zufeld.
Celestin, yes.
Welcome to the Weekend Warrior Traveler.
Thank you, Eddie. We really appreciate it.
Us.
Baggy T, thank you for becoming a helpful traveler. You rock. Tasha, our buddy in Canada, thank you so much. #1 fan. Thank you for that super chat. That is awesome. You and Emily. My goodness, there's a bunch right there in a row. Thank you, Emily. Really appreciate it. That is so awesome. We really appreciate all of our members. Actually, we appreciate everybody. Everybody that's commenting. If you're watching and not commenting because you're watching on TV and you don't know how to comment. It's like my dad, he watches this on his TV at home. He doesn't know how to comment. My mom does, but my dad doesn't. So hi, Dad. But we really appreciate all of you being on here because it's really, really awesome. So Francis wants to do a trip later this year, but who knows? Yeah, nobody knows. We can just hope that things clear up and we all can be safe and exploring the world again.
So thank you to all you guys who have joined. And in case you didn't catch it, we're having a members and patrons only chat tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And
you don't have to have a huge membership. Just a $2 membership will get you into the live feeds. So we want to make it available to anybody that wants to do it. So there is that. So thank you, everybody, please. Off the beaten path, adventures and travel. On the topic of school, thanks on your advice if reading the materials before class. That has helped me out a ton. Please keep up your Professor Walters videos. They help me ace a marketing exam. Awesome. That's what we're here for. And so for my Professor Walters stuff, a lot of my videos have been my Principles of Marketing class because the next fall I'm supposed to teach an online version of it. So I'm doing it all through YouTube. So I got to get like 400 small videos for my students ready. So there's that. Now that I've almost got that completely done, like I think I only have to do a few videos this summer to be ready for the fall. I'm actually going to be transitioning Professor Walters into more, not just basic marketing. Now we're going to have, like, I've filmed 4 sales videos this week. We're going to be going to social media marketing. We're going to talk about professional development. So it's going to be more robust stuff than just basic marketing things, because now we got that out of the way. So there'll be more stuff coming. So I'm glad I can help out.
Do you see that last one right there, right below the blue?
Mark Finley, hi.
No.
What, the worst country you visited?
That's a hard thing to answer.
Yeah, there's no place that...
There are places I wouldn't go back to because I've experienced them and I feel like I've gotten enough out of it. And
there's
I
places
love
that
it so much that I will give up going to a new place to go back to.
Like, we'll go back
Does
to
that make
Vicenza in Paris no matter what.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't... But then there's places I'm like, no, I'm going to go visit 1,000 other places first before I go back.
Right. So there are places that because we have friends or family or whatever there that we need, or friends and family, we need to go back routinely to. So, like, for instance, we went to Aruba. We had a good time. But I'm not going to go back to Aruba because, you know what, I haven't been to wherever, like a lot of places. I mean, there are a lot of places I haven't been to yet. So, before I revisit some places, I will go to other places. But then there are places like Paris and Vicenza and there are several places that we go to almost every year. Jurea, a fin do mundo in Brazil. So that's it. I don't know that anything's the worst. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Francis, I love that you got to use the Walters World little sticker. Yeah, so the members can use the little stamps and stuff like that. Awesome. Awesome.
Cool, guys.
Celestine, Mark, can I be your European retailer if you need? Thank you. Send me some information so we can get some stuff there. Because we've actually, I feel really bad because these people really want our stuff. But I mean, sometimes it depends what you order. Like, also, it's really weird how they have these things set up because what you do is you weigh how much each of your products are, right? And so if you weigh 2 T-shirts, it's those 2 weights. Then it determines what the shipping cost is for those 2 weights together. And it's just, it's insane. So we're trying to figure out ways to go around.
There was one right up there. How is Basel? We currently Sherry. We currently have a trip later in the year that ends there, and I'm working on things to see.
Basel's not so exciting. The thing what's nice about Basel is it's close that you can go to Freiburg and you can get over to France, so it's gonna be like a little kind of things. I actually like Freiburg better than Basel, so you can go over to Germany to do that. I would recommend that over Basel. If you're gonna go there, you've got like a day of stuff to see and do. To be honest. All right, more stuff. Excuse me. I'm going to visit countries first, which you never visited before. Yeah, Jimmy, you're going to beat me, buddy. You're going to beat me, man.
I'm curious what people think.
George is giving a shout out to my mom who answered some questions on here. I'm glad my mom could help out. That's awesome. Oh, a couple new members. Natasha, thank you very much, Helpful Traveler. We really appreciate it. Means to Travel, welcome. As I thought you were members. So you members and moderators too. Thank you, Means to Travel. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, George, my mom says glad she could help. That's awesome. See, even all parts of the Walters family try to help. So that's really nice. Though the youngest members of the Walters have disappeared. Liam is upstairs, I'm going to guess, in our bedroom watching something. At least he usually remembers if we're doing a live feed to put on a DVD versus watching live streaming. But Saturday mornings usually aren't too bad. It's the Wednesday night ones. There's just no bandwidth left at all. So it's like, guys, everyone's DVDs and like play a game. So we have that. Let's see. Francis got some credit from Delta. Yeah, I have so much credit with Delta that there's no way I can use it now because we had to cancel so much. Or postpone stuff, like, because we postponed a Cayman's trip to November. We got this big trip this summer, and we're just gonna postpone that and put that for a December one. But then we got these other trips. I'm like, it comes a time like there's nothing else I can postpone to because I don't know what our schedule's like, and it's not like I can just you're not sure what to do, and so I'm gonna guess a lot of people are just gonna eat that loss. So there is that, which kind of sucks. Let's see. Someone's asking, how do you think the market dynamics will change after COVID? Where is it? I want you to answer this one. But someone's asked about how the market dynamics. I can't find the question now, but I'm going to talk about travel. So where I feel, and this is my personal opinion, where I feel you'll see the biggest differences in travel going forward after COVID. One, you're going to see a number of airlines either go out of business or need significant bailouts to get through. You will see deals to inspire people to travel at first, but the thing is, those airlines are not necessarily going to have a lot of money to like sponsor those deals. They're just trying to get people back in the planes again. There's that. I think you're going to see when you go to destinations, people are going to be happy to have those tourists back because a lot of places, tourism is a huge part of their economy. And so tourists coming back means they have food on the table to feed their families again. So you'll have an appreciation of the tourists, but also I think the tourists will be more appreciative of the places they go, having been stuck at home. Now I get a chance to go see this. I think you'll see a new appreciation of a lot of things, whether it is going out and seeing your friends and spending time and socializing with your family. That's not the ones you're stuck in your house with. I think you're going to see a really big difference in there. Also, I think what you're going to see is in terms of travel, you're going to have a lot less people traveling at first. A lot of people like, when this is over, I'm going right away. But the financial reality that people have to realize is that a lot of people have lost their jobs or have had we've had significant downturn in our income. And so it's like, look, we want to go everywhere, but we have to make financial decisions. Will I, if it comes down to, can I feed my kids or am I going on a trip? I want to feed my kids. And you're going to have a lot of people that right now are saying, I'm going to go travel. Then the financial reality will hit in. And I think the longer the quarantines last, the more that impact's going to be. Because remember, it's 28 days to break a habit and 28 days to start a new habit. And so if you have 2 months of quarantines, what new habits have people changed? How are things different? You have like a reset here. So it's going to be a very, very interesting time. Zenga, yes, we do have plans for Central Asia, the stands and stuff like that. We do have that. Mongolia, that's also a future one. Mongolia is more mid 2020s when Liam's about 12 to 13. We want him to be a bit bigger for certain places. But Charles P has this question I would like Jocelyn to look at. Hi, both. Question for Jocelyn. I have 9 weeks later in the year, 2021. What's the best places for lone female travelers?
So Western Europe, partially because it's pretty safe. It's fairly easy to get around, and there are less language barriers. Getting around's really easy. So, US, Canada. That's one. U.S., Canada being another one. Again, pretty easy to get. So the U.S. doesn't have a ton of trains and buses and things, but it's easy to rent a car and get around. Japan is another one that would be really great. And it's a little tough on language sometimes because some places you don't get extra. I'm sorry. Okay. And then Costa Rica, as far as Central and South America, Costa Rica is very easy, as is Peru, for lone travelers, male and female, truly. It's so well set up that I feel comfortable telling you that that's okay to do too. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm getting all these messages from my shopper, and I have to keep helping because they're out of so much stuff, and they have to, before they just pick, they have to ask specific things. So, anyway, all right. So Francis and my mother-in-law are having a chit chat back together. All right, Baggy T, are you a fan of Duolingo? I'm learning German. A few basics have been memorized, but I find it harder the more advanced I go. Well, that's going to be just about any language tutorial you use. If you're learning German, on the side, use Herr Antrim's website. Mark's going to put it up here. He'll help you get through, just watching his videos is going to get you through a lot. Sometimes, so Duolingo is cool, but for me, I need a human. I don't do well with just, different people learn different ways. So that's it.
Yeah, and another thing is, And if you look at, like, for example, with Learn German with Harry Anstrom, he actually says in his intro video, look, this is, if you're just here to learn it for your vacation kind of stuff, we're not a phrase book thing. We're going to teach you the grammar, teach these things like really in depth. And if you have that kind of thing, it works better. And whatever you learn, if you find a good program, go through their program. That's going to help you out the best. But like Duolingo and all these ones, they'll help you get like the basic stuff down though. And then that's when it gets more complicated, because when it's a set system for everybody, it's just tough. It's tough.
Inside Lauren's brain works at Hobby Lobby. I know. I'm sure you miss your job right now. I bet it's really hard. I'm sorry. This is one of my favorite shops.
So I want you to know, I just said, so at 12 o'clock, at noon, so in a half an hour and 34 minutes, we'll be premiering our What to Eat in Argentina video, which is today's video. Our members actually voted for that one for this week. Actually, Argentina and Brazil tied for what country to do. So I'm going to put a Argentina video out today, and we'll have something else, either Argentina or Brazil, tomorrow as well, because that's what people voted for. Because that's one of those things. It's like when we have extra, like, cause we want to do more videos, we'll actually ask. Sometimes we ask our fans, just in general, the fellow travelers. Sometimes we ask our patrons, our members, all kinds of different stuff. Also, don't forget, if even if you're just watching, we actually do one trip a year based on our fans. This year's trips obviously have been kind of messed up because our original April plan was we have all these miles, and so it was going to be the week before. Hey, here's the places we can go with our miles. Where do you want us to go? And so we would let our fans vote where we're going to go. And then, okay, here's the hotels we can choose from. We're going to let kind of like choose your own adventure, but from our fans. And we're going to do that trip. But that's obviously been sound code too. So maybe we'll be doing that later this year if we can travel, or next year. Depends when things are out. Sorry.
So, there it is. Hello in Lagos. And then Nick is going from Massachusetts to Savannah. Any tips? My biggest tip is get off 95. So 95 is fine for some parts, but if you get on 17, and there's so many great places to stop along the way, and not just the big towns, but like, if you're like between Charleston and Savannah, maybe stop somewhere and have lunch. Go down Highway 17. 17 used to be what 95 is now, and so you'll find some great little places on there, and yeah, that's it. Be careful on 95, because man, it gets, there's a couple places like through South Carolina where you go from 3 lanes down to 2 lanes, and it's just, I don't know, it can get a little bit snaggly there.
Yeah. So some people were talking about some other options aside from Duolingo, because Shauna was like, Duolingo wasn't enough. So she paired up with a German tutor with Preply. That helps. They do a video chat every week. Mr. Blonde talks about italki, because that's the thing is, if you have a static thing, you're not sure if you're saying it right. You're not sure if you're doing it right. You're not sure about the interaction kind of stuff, because actually talking with people goes a long way. So you can find things like this to help out. That's really nice. So thank you for sharing those. Wow, Eddie, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. So, Jocelyn Mark, you inspired me to take my first trip out of the country. I did a solo trip to the north of England and Scotland last October. Cool. Best 10 days ever. Thank you for all the work you do for us. That is so nice, Eddie. Yay, thank you so much. Eddie. I'm glad we can. And Eddie, you did a good choice. Did you get to York? Because York's my favorite town in England. I was supposed to go there earlier this year, and I had to cancel it. And I'm like kicking myself because I wanted to show more of Northern England. Because like that's like you really feel like you're back at like England. Because London is an international city. It's like New York. It's an international city. But going to the north, man, it is so cool up there. I'm so glad I could be part of it with a smile on my face. And that's the thing.
That first trip is one you never forget either.
Yeah.
That it's the one that sets the tone for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm glad that we could be a part of that for you.
So Jennifer asked, Mark, you mentioned you play guitar. What do you like to play? Is it the same as what you listen to? So I listen to all kinds of music. I have no problem with listening to all kinds of music. It doesn't bother me. But I would play guitar. It's mostly rock stuff like, 90s. Because when I started playing guitar, I was in the 90s. So I still remember those songs. And then the last 10 years with Walter's World and all the work, I haven't really played as much as I'd like. And so
you and Caleb play together now that we're in quarantine, you're playing more.
I'm playing more now.
Mm-hmm.
But like Caleb started playing guitar a few years ago. And so when Caleb had lessons, I'm like, wait, why am I just sitting here and not taking lessons, doing something? Instead, because sitting there for an hour waiting for his lessons or a half hour, I'm like, And I started talking to the guy that was like the guy working the desk. I'm like, do you do lessons? Because we kind of became friends after 6 months of me sitting there. We would talk. And so he's like, yeah, actually I do. I do guitar lessons. I'm like, hey, could we do it? So when he has his lessons, you have it. And so I started doing it for a couple of years. And it wasn't really lessons.
And you set up a camp.
Yeah, it was.
That was
yeah,
cool.
it was. But it wasn't lessons. It was more like we just would just jam together. And so not this past summer, but summer before. What was the summer before? It was a while. Like Caleb, it's like, look, because he was doing a guitar center lesson and stuff like that. He's like, I just want to take a break at guitar. I'm like, I tell you what, we'll do like a folk guitar camp. And so it was basically learning like 4-chord songs, stuff like that. Because Caleb was learning, here's like a E jazz chord and stuff like this. He's like, I just want to play songs. And so we got with our buddy, and we had like a week long, Monday through Friday, just 1 hour a day, just playing those things. That got him through. And then of course, he's 13, so he's like, I don't want to do anything. So we gave him some time away. Got him back into guitar lessons, and he does the kid could make up some really great stuff. He's really talented. And so got him back into lessons. Like, I don't want to do lessons. I'm like, dude, you're not going to sit and play Xbox all the time. He got back into lessons. Liam got back into drum lessons, and they were loving it. And then the quarantine happened, and so now all their lessons are canceled. So now we're probably going to look for maybe doing some like Skype lessons or something like that. I wrote to the Guitar Center where he had his lessons, but since they're closed, they're not replying to emails. So
somebody asked about being very outgoing, the need to be outgoing and social when you travel. I don't think you have to be really outgoing to get a lot out of your travels. It's nice if you can talk to people and strike up a conversation. Like if you're in a restaurant or something, some people are able to do that, but that doesn't mean that if that's not who you are, you don't have to do that to have a good, successful trip. So don't think that you need to change yourself to be a good traveler. It's cool when you make friends, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you can just enjoy your own. I mean, I've been on trips before where it was just me. I remember I was in Paraguay, and it was just me. And like meeting people was really tough. And this is 20 years ago in Paraguay. And like it was tough meeting people and stuff like that. So I was just like more of like a me time thing, like self-reflection kind of stuff. So you can do it. Don't worry. I think Bonacos is probably the most important question of the day. With production of Hawaii Five-0 finally having ended after 10 seasons, will Hawaii's economy now suffer somewhat? Actually, the film industry there might, because that's a lot of jobs that were there.
That is a lot of jobs.
So that's what you're gonna have, and that's what you'll see is like, because like at a time like Wilmington, North Carolina had a bunch of filming there at one time. And like the first Iron Man, I think they filmed a bunch of stuff there, and you'll see some things. And it's interesting is when you see places that but they're playing it as someplace else. Like X-Files was filmed like in Vancouver and stuff like that, and Supernatural is like filmed in Vancouver. And you're like, wait, they're playing all over the U.S., but it's based in Vancouver? Yeah, you have those things. You start to see, it's like, wait a minute, that's not it. Like CSI Miami, that wasn't when they do like the shots of driving down the beach. All they did would flip things from Los Angeles and stuff like that. So movie magic, it's crazy. Zenga, I do not know about the Falklands or to Argentina. That's still a little bit of an area there. Let's see. So Jennifer Benzie, I've had to cancel my piano lessons. I'm a piano teacher. It sucks, but music is definitely a therapy through this time. It is. And Jennifer, you might look into doing like Skype or Zoom classes, because people, I mean, I know I'm using this as a bad example, but if this is the phone, I mean, they can set it up. And so they can set up so you actually see them, like we're doing our thing here, like this live feed. You could have a live feed class that way, or you could do it one-on-one with like Skype or something like that, and they could have it there and they show their hand positions and show that, and you can talk to them and you can kind of walk them through it. Because I know like one of our friends, their son plays the trombone, and he's having his private trombones that way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Jenny, that could actually open up your business to more people, because then you could help people that your usual things, but it might open up to other people to take Skype lessons. I know we have friends that are trainers, and they actually have more business from their online trainings than their face-to-face trainings. So that could be an opportunity for you. Let's see. Oh, jump. Sorry.
What have you, Francis says, sorry if this has been discussed, but what have you been watching or reading, if anything, during this time of social distancing? So Liam and I watch Father Brown, but that's like whether or not we're on this quarantine thing or not. I have been reading a new I've been reading the last book in a trilogy called, it's the Winter House trilogy. I mean, it's a children's book, and it's a fun book, and it's the third one, so it just came out. And I've slowly been going through that. I've been doing Bible study. I've just never actually read the Bible, so I'm just reading through it, which has been really good for me. What else have I been reading? And Just Enough Jeeves. If y'all don't know about Jeeves and Wooster, and you need a laugh, Just Enough Jeeves is great. It's a huge collection of stories and a couple bigger books, and it's great. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading about social media marketing because I'm writing a new textbook for a class. So my fun time reading is reading about marketing. So I'm excited for May to start, or I'm excited for June, not to be farther past this, hopefully, but also that I'm done writing a textbook on market. Well, it's all the slides for a marketing textbook for a class I'm teaching. So all my reading and free time is in that. And when it's not on that, yesterday I was reading 7th grade math because I'm teaching my son his 7th grade math. So
because that's all Mark, and not Mama.
Yeah. So there is that. So Mr. Means to Travel, D mentions. All right, I've never had any. Well, okay. I actually find people like to talk to Americans, especially around universities, to practice English. This is true. We were in Japan, and people would just come up to us just to practice for a little bit. A lot of older people, just that they come and just for 10 minutes, like, okay, thank you, I had my practice, and they just walk away. But it was great. I remember we were on the train coming back from Kyoto to Paris, or is it Kyoto to Paris?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. From Kyoto to Tokyo, and we're not even drinking. It's not even Wine Wednesday. It's Sambuca Saturday, I guess.
It's that decaf tea that got me.
I know. Anyway, so the lady that was sitting with us, because we were 4 across, and she's there on the side, and she got out her English book and she was like reviewing for a bit, and I saw it. Okay, and then she like turns to us and she has a little like 5 to 10 minute conversation. She's like, okay, thank you, and she goes back to her other stuff, and she was so proud, and she was like, but I could tell for her it was like I got a chance to use it,
and with native speakers.
Yeah, and it was like, and I understood, and it's I remember when I first started speaking, I could actually have a conversation and understand. It wasn't just hola, cómo estás. It was like hola, cómo te va? ¿Estás bien? Qué bueno. Estamos en la cuarentena. Qué bueno. A nadie le gusta. And so it's like, you can have a real conversation. It's a nice thing.
But do you remember the older man that came
in the
talked
Tokyo
to the kids
in the train station?
That was really cool. He just sat and talked to our children for 5 or 10 minutes. It was wonderful. Oh, Babs is gone. See you. John Anderson. Introverts unite. Introverts can still travel and travel well. I promise. Right.
So Timothy Paxton, hey Mark and Jocelyn, what type of equipment do you use to film your videos? Also good for you reading the Bible. So Tim, right now I'm filming this on a Microsoft Surface. I love them. I love my Surface because it's so light, so small, and it has USB plug on the side, and I can put an external micro USB in the bottom, so you have all this expandable stuff. Whereas in the Mac stuff, you don't have that because Mac's it's all us. I'm not into that. And it's so light. I love this thing, and it's powerful enough.
We're inclusive.
Yeah, we're inclusive. We're not only Mac. So I like this. I also have a Lenovo that when I've got to do a bunch of video stuff together. But when we film, right now I have a Sony Alpha 6000. I've used those for years, and I need to upgrade. So I'm looking at a new camera now. Like that's where, so those patrons and members and stuff, that those funds, we use that to buy stuff. So last year, I was in Europe and Jocelyn wasn't there yet, and my camera broke. So we had to buy an emergency camera, and it was cheaper to buy it in the U.S. So I bought it in the U.S.
Significantly cheaper.
So she sent it to Jocelyn, and she brought it to me in Europe. And so we have that, but now it's time to get a better one because I want to have a camera that I can use for these live feeds. So we're not always like looking like this at the stuff. We can have more of a natural setting. So I'm looking at that. We use Manfrotto tripod for those things. What else? I use Vegas Movie Maker. Actually, I don't have my links up. I'll put links in for Magic Movie Maker. I work with them for doing my stuff. So when I do my B-roll and put that in. So that's the stuff I have there. And I actually, it's funny because I just took down on all our new videos. They're not going to have the old links or the Amazon stuff. I'm putting all the new stuff together. So if you want to get things, they'll be able to on the new videos. So that's part of my stuff working on today. So.
Rebecca Point, I'm just going to say this out loud because I think people need to know it. I live next to CineSpace in Chicago. By the way, Chicago has some of the worst parking issues anywhere I've ever been. She said, I wish they would film elsewhere. We pay permit parking, that is constantly taken by the city for filming of Chicago PD and Chicago Fire climbs down from soapbox. Sister, you get on that soapbox. You deserve it, because I know that paid parking in Chicago is not cheap. Permit parking is like anything that is paid is not cheap in Chicago, and parking is such a premium in that city. So I support you.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things. A lot of people feel that their cities forget the locals to help out, because we're going to be in the movies and it's going to help. And sometimes it does help when you see all those times that people really think about, hey, maybe I should go visit there. But it is tough to kind of balance those things. So S. Danielson writes, are a lot of your students...
It's awake!
Caleb's awake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's in the bathroom. Hey, it's 11:40 and he's awake. That's my boy. So S. Danielson writes, are a lot of your students fans of yours as well? Members, etc.? No, they're not members, and they're not necessarily fans, but they're friends of mine. And so here's the thing is I have a lot of students that are my students before they go study abroad. And I don't try to talk too much about Walter's World anymore in my classes, but I will use examples around the world. Though. But it works for a good example, because I'll talk about, look, how does a fat, non-attractive guy get a huge YouTube following? Well, if you have good content, you make good stuff, and you know what customers want, you deliver on that. So what do people want? What do you all want? You want honest travel advice. You're tired of the BS influencers out there that are making fake pictures of flowy dresses and floppy hats. You want, like, look, I'm a family. I want to go enjoy my vacation. That's who we're going to deliver and make our stuff for. And I do this so that things can help anybody that wants to travel and get more out of it. So a lot of my students aren't fans of our videos. They don't even know we have it until they go abroad for study abroad. And then they're studying abroad and going to go do a trip. And they'll meet students there that are watching our videos. And then they're like, what? Like, yeah, this guy's videos are great. We're going to watch it before we go to Budapest or wherever. And they're like, yeah. And then they're like flexing. Oh, yeah, that's my professor. I had his class. I'm like, hey, as long as you watch it. So I have a lot of students that afterwards that come back and say, hey, your videos really helped out, and that's what's nice, because people can find you later on in life, and it's kind of cool. I had one of my students, his mom is a fan, and it was right, and she said, hey, I saw that you had another channel and you teach at the University of Illinois. My son is there. I'm like, well, I can't tell you if he's my student or not my student. I'm not allowed to do that. And she's like, well, he's right here, and he says you are. I'm like, oh, good for Scotty. All right. So it's kind of funny. Jimbo, yes, she is.
Hi, Uncle Chuckles.
Uncle Chuck, you see in the house.
Dude.
Oh, we're doing good, buddy. Thanks for reaching out.
Did you check out Popeye's Village in Malta?
No, we didn't.
That would be fun. Do you think that would be good for the kids?
It's different. It's where they film the movie stuff. It's not like No, we'll get. Yeah.
They haven't really watched that. I guess we did.
Because there's a horrible movie. But
But it's part of my childhood.
Not every part of your childhood should be remembered. It's kind of like tight roll jeans. Just let it go. And jean jackets.
Those are so bad.
I know, but we should have let them gone and died. Anyway, Benocos makes a good point. Actually, San Francisco is the worst parking situation of any place I've never been through the rest of the Bay Area.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah, I'll give you San Fran. Yeah. They got their housing and parking there is insane. Mark Finley, backflips off waterfalls captured by drones. Maybe I should make a second channel of just me doing that. That'll be funny. Actually, that's one of the things is on our Professor Walters channel. So right now I teach two classes. I teach an introduction to marketing class, and then I teach a capstone course for the marketing majors. And so next week we start doing digital and social media marketing, and we're going to talk about viral videos. And so what I'm going to have my students do, I'm going to make like viral videos, like what have been some of the viral stuff, and so you can compare and see what works, what doesn't work. So like I've got the hot spicy noodle challenge, probably do a TikTok dance thing, and so we're going to do that on our Professor Walters channel to show my students, like, look, this is what you're looking at, and why is it big? Like, why are these not getting watched, where the other ones are?
8.5 by 14 paper, or do we need 8.5 by 11? Right? We need. I know, but he said this is the only. I'm sorry, everyone. This is the only type they have. It's legal size.
That's fine. I can change the stuff. We'll use it for that. So if I send anybody any letters, it'll be on legal paper instead of normal paper because they're out. Oh, Mr. Blonde, you make me blush. You're so nice.
Yo,
Gavin.
I need one larger weight because I have like an 8-pound and I really need like a 12 or 15. And he sent me a picture of the weights. Here's the weight rack at the store. There are no more weights. This is good though. This means that everybody's trying to work out at home, right? But there's another one. That's the weights that they have. Look at this. Is that funny or what? Oh my gosh. There's a lot of nothing here. Wow. That's why I've had to be texting so much, because there are so many things that are bought out.
Yeah. So Inside Laura's brand, you are nice. That's why I watched you. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. It's so nice of you. Wojtek says, if one good thing comes out of this pandemic, it's all the influencers going bankrupt. Yeah, I think here's the thing is I'm a marketing professor, and I understand why companies use influencers, because since no one trusts ads and everyone trusts their friends, if I build that social media community, people will trust me, and therefore that's why they can use them. Okay, but the thing is I think over time you're starting to see social influencers. They're still important, but people are starting to catch on that, look, you're getting paid to say this, so you're just a commercial. I mean, how many of you have YouTube channels that now you're like, is this an ad or is this a video anymore? And I think that's where you have a tipping point when people stop wanting to watch your content because of the videos. I know there's certain YouTubers on here I stopped watching because I'm like, look, I'm tired of you spending half the time talking about your great sponsor and your great this and great that. Like, I came to watch you about your trip to...
I want the information.
I want the information. But I know for them, that's how they make their money. But then, that's why I see some YouTubers that still have 2-3 million subscribers, but they're only getting a few 100,000 views anymore because they went so into the sponsors and they got the money, great, because they show the sponsors, look at my subscribers, but no one's watched their videos anymore. So it's a tough balancing act out there, and I think too many people have done that. And what gets me upset is like travel influencers and food influencers that really try to blackmail restaurants and hotels, like, oh, I'm an influencer, I'll post the pictures of your stuff, and then they get upset that they don't get free things. Dude, everybody's posting pictures of their food. Don't be like, think you're something special and you should get a $100 meal for free. Maybe you get a drink for free, or maybe you get a shout out or something like that. But those companies have to make money too, and when you work at such low margins, I can't give away a free week's vacation when I'm making no money. So I think that's one thing that's really going to get cut back.
We have never done that.
No. And we've had people that have asked us to do stuff, and the thing is,
we've gotten like discounted things, I guess.
When?
Was not the trip to Jamaica?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh no, that the apartment was.
The apartment was because it was your friend's apartment, but the whole everything else was full price.
Yeah.
So there's that, and that's why a lot of times we'll work. Like sometimes we work with a company, it just means we hired them, and so because here's the thing: if we tell people we're YouTubers or they know the numbers we have, they're going to treat us differently. So we just order like normal, and so that it's a real experience. Versus, I mean, think about it: if Brad Pitt's on the phone, aren't you going to do a little bit? I mean, I'm not Brad Pitt. If it's somebody that's out there, that's a horrible example. Sorry. But it's somebody they think might help them out, and they might treat you differently, and that doesn't give us a real experience that's going to help you, the fellow travelers.
Kathleen is a ship shopper, and she only shops in the morning because it's too crazy. The stores fill up with customers. Well, I am really appreciating my ship shopper right now. He is doing a wonderful job. And Kathleen, thanks for doing it, because you're allowing other people to stay home, and the less people that are out, the better. And so thank you for that.
So Mr. Blonde Mark, why aren't multi-level marketing schemes illegal? They are in some places. They're called pyramid schemes. But I guess marketing it under a different thing is different. Yeah, that's one way to end friendships, is to get people sucked into that. Christine Sullivan, have you seen the Honest Guide guys from Prague on YouTube? Yeah, I like them. They're fun. I reached out. I was in Prague last summer, and I was actually going back to Prague this summer. And so I'd actually reached out to them, and we were going to do some stuff together this summer. But now that it's canceled, I can't go. But I like them. They're funny guys. So they have a good time together. Like they're good for a good laugh.
Andrew Hoffman, any plans to visit upstate New York? It isn't all that bad.
Finger Lakes? I would like to go there.
We have been to upstate New York.
Actually, I was interviewing with Canisius College in Buffalo
a long time ago
before I got the job.
But we did a massive road trip from Savannah up to Prince Edward Island, and we obviously drove up through there, and we spent a little bit of time. I forget what that cute town was. They had a little market going on. And we spent like a good portion of a day there. I went antique shopping and stuff. I don't think I bought anything, but...
Oh, wait, Marie, wait. Oh, no, Marie's husband was on there. Dang it disappeared. Michael, thank you for the super chat. I will get to you in a sec. I got to find this one because...
What happened?
Where is it? Oh, no. Taylor's Travels. I like dinosaurs. Liam loves dinosaurs. We actually go to a bunch. Argentina's great for dinosaurs. Canada is great for dinosaurs.
And Dinosaur National Monument in the United States.
Oh, no. I'm looking for where?
Well, I've seen these. This was up here when we were talking, and then the MLM question. There it is. Colin McInnes.
Hi, I'm Marie McInnes' husband. You have a wonderful wife. She's an amazing person. As you
We
well
like
know, I don't hear you talk about any zoos you visited. Do you go to zoos in other countries? If so, do you have a favorite?
Yes.
We go to zoos all the time. Yeah, Lisbon Zoo is our favorite. We used to be members there, actually, when we lived there. I take Liam and Caleb to the zoo everywhere we go. Actually, I was in Atlanta with my friend Jeff, and we're adults, and we went to Zoo Atlanta when we were there. Excellent museum. San Diego Zoo was great. Super expensive, but great. Memphis Zoo is really nice. St. Louis Zoo, free. Great to go into. Berlin, going to the Tiergarten is like a tourist experience in of itself. There's a small zoo in Vienna in the back of Schönbrunn Palace.
Oh, that one's cool.
There's all kinds of great ones. And the thing is,
I love the one, the Sonoran Desert Museum, which sounds like it's a museum, but it's indigenous animals and things in Tucson. That one's really cool. It's a great thing to do, actually, because it's, a lot of things are indigenous and it's different.
Yeah, Michael Munn. So, Michael, thank you very much. He says, this is why we love you two. Just good, honest travel advice. Thanks, you. And
Michael.
That's what we want to keep doing. I mean, as long as we can keep being honest and help out, we do the best we can.
Grace Bay Beach at Turks and Caicos. Yes, we
recommend
it.
Oh, gosh, it's so gorgeous.
Beautiful.
But,
woo, mama.
Yeah, we went just the two of us for our 10th anniversary.
Nothing was cheap.
Yeah.
We did buy...
Dave in Duluth.
Duluth Trading, the original. I remember that when I was a kid, the original trading. But we rented an apartment and we were just a little ways off. We had to walk maybe like 500-600 meters to get to the beach, and we didn't really have a beach view or anything. But we rented a place with a kitchen, and I'm really glad we did because, dang, it was expensive. So we went to the grocery store, and I'm gluten-free, so I went to get some gluten-free bread. Like, we got eggs and milk and butter, like just some basic things. Gluten-free bread was, I am not kidding, $15 a loaf for like the cheapest one.
Yeah.
$15.
If you look,
it went up over $20 for the fancy loaves. So there was a lot of what happened.
Liam just poured a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios and walked upstairs with the bowl.
Why can't you eat that in the kitchen?
Because he's watching cartoons. Oh, he doesn't want to interrupt us.
Oh,
that is so
sweet and thoughtful, Liam. If you spill Cheerios in my bed, I'm gonna beat you. I'm just joking.
So, I think okay, so we have the eats, what to eat in Argentina is going to go live as a premiere at noon. So that's in 7 minutes. So I'm going to get the last few questions here. I hope some of you will hop on there to watch. Also, if you can click the like button on this right now to give us some likes for the live feed, that's always great to know. Means to Travel makes up a good point. Folks who work at magazines like CN Travel, Travel and Leisure, and Afar don't get discounts on their trips usually. Only if they're part of the editorial staff and doing a press trip, they might get it all for free. Yeah, and so I know a lot of tourists or a lot of travel vloggers that will do press trips just to get the free trip. And they're like, hey, I got the free trip, and then they'll make their content. So they kind of get paid by making the content. They don't get paid by the agency. So there are those things out there. So there's some stuff like that.
It's amazing that you work for like those big magazines and you don't get it free, but influencers who don't necessarily have like,
any skills,
degrees in writing, have, and then they get it free. It's amazing to me. Agnieszka, thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, your videos are more than welcome to distraction these days. Thank you from Munich. Bitte schön, wir freuen uns, dass wir dir helfen kann. It's a tough time for us all. I'm glad we can do something. So I think we're gonna focus on South and Central America this week, and then I think we're gonna do like regions and kind of move around and do stuff like that. So we'll have some good stuff there. Rafael, good to see you. Thank you for saying hi to the family. Oh, thank you for clicking like on there, but guys, I appreciate it. Mr. Bond, how did you discover YouTube? I discovered it because I wanted to help my students and also want to help Jocelyn prepare to come to Portugal. So I started making videos there. We have a whole story about where it started. On there, you can just say, hey, how did Walter's World start? Or you can look up 5 things you didn't know about Walter's World, and there'll be a video of me like this. and you'll see it, and you can watch that.
Antwortest du auch
Du-
in Deutsch?
Ja, do I also answer in German? Ja, ich kann, aber normalerweise, wir haben nicht so viele deutsche Anschauer, aber manchmal kann man ein bisschen, that's another song from a long time ago. Yeah, we can do some German stuff. I'm glad we can inspire you guys to travel. Yeah, yeah, $15 for it was quite a bit. Anyway, so San Antonio, Savannah, when traveling with kids.
Ooh.
That's tough. Either one are going to be good.
They're both good.
The kids will like the Riverwalk.
There's a great book called Savannah with Kids. There's 2 editions of it. So look for that.
Willie, yes, we've gotten very sick on foreign food before. We got bad water in El Salvador. That's why I did not go to York because Jocelyn was really, really ill, so I had to stay home and help out here.
Most unusual food in a vending machine. Well, they have hot food
Beer.
in vending machines in Japan.
Yeah,
like,
the hot.
You get hot food.
Royal milk tea, that's so good.
Hot.
But my favorite vending machine food is in the Netherlands. You go to the Fabo and you like pull it out for €2. You get all kinds of great stuff. Oh, so many nice. 99 Luftballons. Yes, I know that song very well, Mr. Blonde, in German. I had to memorize that back in the day.
Had to.
It was forced onto me. Back in the day when they had fraternities with Hell Weeks and stuff like that. Anyway, Nilo, I don't have a food video on Guatemala, but we have a food video on Belize, and we'll have a food video on El Salvador. We have a food video in Nicaragua that we'll put out as well. Now to give you an idea of the food around there. And we have a Costa Rica food video, so I'll put some of those out to give you some ideas of food stuff that are from there to kind of help out. But I did not film a food video when we were in Guatemala. We just did the What to Know Before You Go, the 10 Shocks of Guatemala. We only got a couple things filmed there. I'll show you that. So I don't know. Can we still get toilet paper? I
haven't had to because right before this happened, we did our normal shop and
so you have croquette and fabo.
We have enough for like another couple weeks, so I'm not gonna go run out and get it until I need it.
Yeah, because there's people that need it and not getting it. So
I mean, I have a friend who literally another friend of hers from Kansas sent her toilet paper
to Savannah because they were out
because she had no toilet paper and couldn't get any.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy it till I have to.
Yeah, Elena, my Russian now, I mean, I got to be enough that I could do a decent tourist when I was there years ago, like almost 20 years ago. Damn, almost 20 years ago, the first time I went. But yeah, like, Меня зовут Mark, как дела, хорошо, плохо, я хочу это, I want this. So I can do some basic stuff like that.
Okay, oysters in Galway are good. The best oysters, in my opinion, are from Normandy. Inside Lauren's brain, were there any foods that you hated at first and then warmed up to?
Yes, asparagus.
Foie gras.
For her, asparagus for me. I actually really love it now. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, well, I've got to get on.
I've got to get on
our premiere for Argentina food. That's going to start in about 3 minutes. So if you all click off here and you go to the Walter's World YouTube channel, you'll see premiering in 3 minutes will be what to eat in Argentina. So we can talk about some good stuff there. Anywhere, I wish you all the best.
Thank you to Means to Travel, Mark Finley, Michael Mon, Terry Finley, and all of our
all
other
members,
people who are
patrons, all of you on here.
Yep.
Agnieszka, dankeschön.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to say thank you to those people who are moderators and who have helped keep the trolls off of here so that all of us can have a really good conversation.
And Raphael, I hope you get to Japan because it's a fantastic
place. It's amazing.
All right. Oh yeah, the ones in PEI are really good
has
too.
Good oysters too.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
bye y'all.
We'll see you. I'll be live chatting on the premiere in 2 minutes. So I got to go to that. Love you all. Thank you for the 3 hours super chat.
See you on Wednesday.
Chatting. See you on Wednesday for Whiskey Wine Wednesday.
And members and patrons, we'll see you tomorrow at 3.
At 3. All right. See y'all later. Bye
y'all.
everybody.